Chapter 1472. As he had helped Emo Qingyun refine the ink Qilin medicine cauldron, Wu Yu had used up a lot of his spiritual energy and mental strength. Thus, on the way back to the Sky Devil Talisman's stronghold, he entered the Soul Palace to recover. Once he returned to his secret room, Emo Qingyun did not waste any time and immediately entered the 5-directional pagoda to refine medicine. Emo Qingyun took out the ingredients one by one and placed them in an orderly manner in front of him. Clang! After preparing all the ingredients, Emo Qingyun took out the ink Qilin medicine cauldron and placed it in front of him. Bang! After taking out the ink Qilin medicine cauldron, Emo Qingyun injected a flame into it and began refining pills. Emo Qingyun, who had a foundation in alchemy, was very familiar with these basic steps. One by one, Emo Qingyun threw the ingredients into the ink Qilin medicine cauldron in an orderly manner. When the ingredients were thrown into the cauldron, they were not smelted by flames like when refining pills. The method of refining pills was much more gentle. Through boiling, the medicinal properties of the ingredients would be drawn out bit by bit. If one were to compare alchemy with alchemy, alchemy would be roasting, while alchemy would be stewing. Under the slow simmering heat of the fire, traces of pure medicinal spiritual energy were drawn out from within. Because the flame used for refining pills was smaller, the time needed to refine the ingredients was naturally longer. In the following time, Emo Qingyun slowly refined the ingredient. As time continued to pass, the color of the water in the cauldron began to change. In addition, the liquid in the cauldron also emitted a strong medicinal power. About 6 hours later, when Emo Qingyun saw that the spiritual energy in the liquid was no longer changing, he released his soul energy to sense the strength of the ingredient. The medicinal spiritual energy in the ingredients has all been drawn out. Emo Qingyun could not sense any medicinal spiritual energy from the ingredient. He knew that the first step of refining pills was complete. The second step of refining pills was different from the second step of refining pills. In the first step of refining pills, all the impurities were removed. In the second step of refining pills, the impurities needed to be removed through filtration. Soon after, the spiritual herb branches and some impurities in the ink Qilin medicine cauldron were filtered out by Emo Qingyun. After removing the impurities in the liquid, the next step was to solidify it and evaporate the water in it. This process was similar to the solidification of refining pills, but there were some differences. In the process of refining pills, the medicinal liquid would directly turn into a solid state, but the medicine would still be in a liquid state. Under Emo Qingyun's continuous solidification, the medicinal liquid became thicker and thicker, and the medicinal power it contained also became purer and purer. Boom! No idea how long had passed. A muffled sound suddenly came from inside the medicinal cauldron. The medicinal spiritual energy became berserk. After discovering this, Emo Qingyun's expression suddenly became startled. He was quite frightened by this unforeseen event. Is the refinement process? Emo Qingyun couldn't help but have this thought as he watched the situation before him. This was because the current situation was too similar to the pill explosion that occurred during his pill refinement process. At this moment, as Emo Qingyun was pondering, a strange scene appeared. Above the cauldron, a reflection of water ripples appeared, showing a strange scene. Seeing such a scene, Emo Qingyun couldn't help but be dumbfounded. With a pleasantly surprised expression, he said, "Could it be that this is the same as the pill image in the pill refining process?" The appearance of the medicine image meant that Emo Qingyun's medicinal liquid was close to perfection. Emo Qingyun did not expect that the medicine image would appear on his first attempt at refining pills. "Looks like I'm just as Wu Yu said. I'm quite talented in refining pills." Emo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised when he saw that he had succeeded in refining the medicine. He became a little excited. Emo Qingyun did not waste any more time. He began the last step of refining pills, forming pills. Condense. Mo Qingyun released a surge of celestial spiritual energy. He condensed it into a palm and began to knead the medicinal liquid in the cauldron. During the kneading process, the last trace of water in the medicinal liquid was consumed little by little. As the water was consumed, the medicinal liquid began to solidify, forming pills of the same size. "It's done." Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised when he saw the pills being formed one after another. He was very satisfied with the results of this alchemy. Seeing that the pills were completed, Mo Qingyun kept them in his palm and sensed the spiritual energy in them. The celestial spiritual energy in these pills is almost equivalent to a grade 2 celestial pill. After sensing the medicinal power in the pills in his hand, Mo Qingyun had a general understanding of their grades. Soon after, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and continued to refine pills. Cultivation was short. As Mo Qingyun was wholeheartedly refining pills, time flew by. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed in the 5 Directions small tower. It was equivalent to 3 days in the outside world. At this moment, Mo Qingyun finished refining the pills in his cauldron. He was overjoyed. "I've finally refined a grade 3 high-grade pill. Right, it's already the 4th day of my appointment with Yunyun. I have to go to Nanhua City immediately." When Mo Qingyun thought of the promise he had made with Chu Yunyun, a sense of anxiety rose in his heart. He had promised to meet the 2 girls in Nanhua City in 5 days. Now that 4 days had passed, he had to leave immediately. Otherwise, Chu Jiao's wedding would have ended by the time he reached Nanhua City. Immediately, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and left the 5 Directions small tower. "Stockade Master Yao, these are some pills that I've refined. Please distribute them to your clansmen." After leaving the 5 Directions small tower, Mo Qingyun found Yao Yunli and gave him some pills. "Pills that you've refined?" Yao Yunli was shocked. He looked at Mo Qingyun with a strange gaze, as if he was looking at a monster. He really didn't expect Mo Qingyun to know how to refine pills in addition to his amazing cultivation talent and formations. At this moment, Yao Yunli couldn't help but wonder if there was anything that Mo Qingyun didn't know. "Qingyun, thank you. With these pills, our clansmen's strength will definitely increase by leaps and bounds." Receiving the pills from Mo Qingyun, Yao Yunli was pleasantly surprised and excited. "Stockade Master, I have an appointment with a friend. We'll meet in Nanhua City tomorrow. I'll take my leave now." After handing over the pills to Yao Yunli, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to say too much. He directly said goodbye to him. "As for Wen Chong and the others, I'll have to trouble you to say goodbye for me." After saying this to Yao Yunli, Mo Qingyun turned around and flew out of the Heavenly Devil Talisman stronghold. Knowing that Mo Qingyun had turned around and flew away, although Yao Yunli was reluctant, he didn't ask Mo Qingyun to stay. Chapter 1473. Nanhua City, Chiu family. The courtyard was decorated with lanterns and colored banners. It was a joyous scene. An endless stream of guests came to congratulate them. As the guests looked left and right, the bride sat in the green garden peacock sedan chair and slowly landed in front of the Chiu family. As the green garden peacock sedan chair landed, 3 women walked out. One of them was a woman wearing a red veil. She was the star of the day, Chu Jiao. The other was a bridesmaid wearing red makeup. She was Chu Yunyun, who had agreed to be Chu Jiao's bridesmaid. As for the last one, it was Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao, who was wearing a blue dress. The moment Chu Yunyun and Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao walked out of the sedan chair, they became the center of attention. If not for the red veil on Chu Jiao's head, the crowd might have mistakenly thought that they were the stars of the day. Just the woman accompanying the bride was already so beautiful. Wouldn't the bride be even more alluring? At this moment, the crowd was extremely curious about Chu Jiao's appearance. The Chu family is full of beauties. These 2 bridesmaids are actually so beautiful. Yeah. If there's a chance, I also want to go to the Chu family to choose a woman. That's a good suggestion, Let's go find Qiu Xinlong and get him to act as a go-between for us. Everyone, these two bridesmaids of the Chu family are so beautiful. Don't you have any thoughts about them? Brother Qiu Lin, do you mean that we should use this as an excuse to mess with the bridesmaids? That's exactly what I mean. Today is Qiu Xinlong's big day. Even if they suffer, they won't dare to show it. The surrounding youths smiled evilly as their gazes landed on Chu Yunyun and Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao. Under everyone's gaze, Chu Yunyun seemed a little nervous. She said to Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao, "Xiaoxiao, is Qin Yun here? Why do I feel uneasy?" "Don't worry. Qin Yun is powerful and has many tricks up his sleeves. He'll be fine." Hearing Chu Yunyun's words, Ghost Moon Xiaoxiao comforted her. She then said, "In my opinion, Qin Yun has probably arrived at the Qiu family and is waiting for us in the Qiu family." Chu Yunyun nodded, and her expression improved. Following that, the two women accompanied Chu Jiao into the Qiu estate under everyone's fervent gazes. "Chu family head, please come in." Seeing the arrival of Chu Qingsong and the others, the head of the Qiu clan, Qiu Minghong, warmly welcomed them. Under the warm welcome of Qiu Minghong and the others, Chu Qingsong and the others walked into the Qiu mansion and went to their seat. When everyone was seated, Chu Yunyun, Ghost, and Xiaoxiao walked into the bridal chamber with Chu Jiao. In the following period of time, Chu Yunyun and Lin Mingya accompanied Chu Jiao as they waited for the banquet to end. Several hours later, the banquet was finally over. The groom, surrounded by a group of young men, walked into the bridal chamber. As everyone walked into the bridal chamber, their gazes landed on Chu Yunyun and Su Li. Sensing the fiery gazes of the crowd, Chu Yunyun and the other girl frowned slightly, feeling extremely uncomfortable. "Chu Jiao will be leaving first." Seeing that the groom has arrived, Chu Yunyun, Gui and Xiaoxiao stand up and say goodbye to Chu Yunyun. "All right." Knowing that Chu Yunyun and Xiaoxiao were leaving, Chu Jiao only responded indifferently and did not stand up to send them off. Seeing Chu Jiao's action, Gui and Xiaoxiao frowned slightly, feeling somewhat dissatisfied with Chu Jiao. However, considering Chu Yunyun's feelings, she did not show it and silently left with Chu Yunyun. "Ladies, the bride has to accompany the groom. She has no time to accompany you. Let us accompany you." When Gui and Xiaoxiao walked out of the room, Qiu Xinlong's friends immediately surrounded Chu Yunyun and Xiaoxiao. Seeing their actions, Chu Jiao's delicate body trembled. She hurriedly said to Qiu Xinlong, "Xinlong, quickly go and warn your friends. Tell them not to go overboard with Yunyun and Xiaoxiao." Because Chu Jiao knew of Mo Qingyun's existence, he was worried that if those people offended Chu Yunyun and Xiaoxiao, something like Zhao Shi would happen. Of course, the reason why Chu Jiao could still remain calm was because she did not know that Mo Qingyun had destroyed the 100 Change clan. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been so calm when she saw this scene. When Chu Yunyun and Xiaoxiao had left earlier, he could no longer sit still. He would have stood up to send them off. "Jiao Jiao, don't worry. Qiu Lin and the rest know their limit." Qiu Xinlong clearly did not take Chu Jiao's reminder to heart. He carelessly comforted Chu Jiao and said, "Furthermore, with Qiu Lin and the rest's status, it's their greatest fortune that they've taken a fancy to those two girls." This, knowing that Qiu Xinlong had such thoughts, Chu Jiao originally wanted to persuade him. However, she was interrupted before she could speak. "All right, let's not talk about this anymore." Qiu Xinlong looked impatient as he interrupted Chu Jiao's words. He hurriedly said, "As the ancients say, a night of spring is worth 1,000 gold. Let's not waste any more time." "Idiot!" Hearing this, Chu Jiao's face instantly flushed red. She shyly glared at Qiu Xinlong. Outside the room, as soon as Chu Yunyun and Xiaoxiao walked out of the room, they were surrounded by a group of people who forced them to retreat to the side. Seeing these people's actions, Chu Yunyun and Xiaoxiao's faces turned cold. They shouted angrily at these people, "Please move aside. We have nothing to say to you." As if they had expected Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao to react this way, the crowd did not get angry. Instead, they all smiled evilly. Ladies, we admire you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope that you'll give us a chance. That's right. We'll definitely perform well later, and let the two ladies feel as if they're on cloud 9. Ladies, today is Qiu Xinlong's big day. Let's make love with them. The more they spoke, the more vulgar their words became. Their expressions became increasingly gloomy as they approached Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao. If it were not for the fact that they had to consider the situation, they would have used force. Vulgar. Hearing these people's words, Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao's faces turned cold. They said coldly, "Don't say that we didn't warn you. It's not too late for you to leave now. Otherwise, when our husbands arrive, it'll be too late for you to leave." At this moment, Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao had no choice but to use Mo Qingyun's name in order to get the crowd to leave. However, when they made up the fact that Mo Qingyun was their husband, they still blushed and felt extremely embarrassed. The change in Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao's expressions did not escape the crowd's attention. Immediately, one of them noticed. Look, their faces are red. It looks like they've already let their imaginations run wild. Noticing the change in Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao's expressions, one of them revealed an evil smile. His gaze became even more unrestrained. Since it's like this, what are we waiting for? Let's take the two ladies and have some fun. Just as that person finished speaking, another person immediately chimed in. He appeared to be in a hurry. Chapter 1474. Scram. Seeing these people's actions, Ghost Moon Xiao Zhao's face turned cold and her body emitted a chilling aura. When this chilling aura exploded out, everyone immediately retreated and revealed a shocked expression. None of them had expected that the two women before them would possess powers comparable to true immortals. Although Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao and Ghost Moon Xiao Zhao's strength was not bad, they were still too weak and could not defend against forehand. Moreover, these people were more powerful than them. Facing so many people, they were still unable to do anything. True immortal realm cultivation. She's much stronger than those girls in the Red House. This girl's talent is shocking. If she can be with him, their children will definitely be extraordinary. Everyone, my Qin Xiao wants this girl. I hope you can give me some face. As for the other one, I, Ting Xiong, want it. As long as you don't fight with me, I'll definitely repay you in the future. Bah! You too sure know how to take advantage of others. How can you give up on such rare girls? At this moment, no one dared to show weakness. They wanted to take Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao and Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao for themselves. After arguing for a while, no one hesitated and attacked Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao and Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao. Seeing these people's actions, the anger in Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao and Ghost Moon Xiao Zhao's heart became even more intense. Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao did not hesitate and took out her longsword and slashed at the people. They knew that if they showed weakness, it would only make the other party even more unrestrained. Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao swung her sword and slashed out a powerful sword light that swept towards the people in front of her. What a fierce girl! But I like it! Seeing Ghost Moon Xiao Zhao's actions, everyone was shocked and the desire in their eyes became even more intense. They had been in the flower forest for many years, and it was rare to see such a fierce girl. Such a thorny rose had already aroused their desire to conquer. Boom boom boom, as Ghost Moon, Xiao Xiao, and the others fought, massive sounds rang out, causing quite a big commotion. The appearance of such a commotion immediately attracted the attention of many people, causing a group of people to rush over. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Soon, many people arrived at the small courtyard and looked curiously at Ghost Moon Xiao Xiao and the others. When everyone arrived, Chu Qingsong also followed them. Yunyun, Lady Xiao Xiao. Seeing Chu Yunyun and Xiao being surrounded, Chu Qingsong was so scared that his face turned pale. He wanted to go help them out, but when he was about to help, he was stopped by Qiu Minghong. In-law, it's just the younger generation fooling around. As elders, we shouldn't get involved. Chu Yunyan shao 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 and shao 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 and shao 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 and shao 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 and shao 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 and shao 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 shao. Thinking of Mo Qingyun's deeds, Chu Qingsong did not dare to take any chances. He decided to take Chu Yunyun, Gui, and Xiao Xiao away. He didn't dare to gamble with the fate of the Chu clan. The stakes were too high, and it wasn't something he could afford to gamble with. Chiu Minghong's face immediately sank when he saw that Chu Qingsong wasn't listening. He looked displeased and said, "Master Chu, today is the wedding day of your daughter and my son. Even if you don't care about Chu Jiao's face, I won't allow you to cause trouble." Hearing Chiu Minghong's words, Chu Qingsong hesitated and revealed a hesitant expression. Seeing Chu Qingsong's expression, Chiu Minghong's expression softened a bit, and he comforted Chu Qingsong, "In-law, you might not know this, but there's a custom in Nanhua City. When the newlyweds get married, their friends and relatives have to play with the bridesmaids to add a festive atmosphere to the wedding." As Chiu Minghong spoke, he pulled Chu Qingsong and walked out of the small courtyard. Hearing Chiu Minghong's words, Chu Qingsong's expression turned better. He seemed to believe Chiu Minghong's words. Swoosh, while Chu Qingsong was talking, a streak of light flew above the Chiu family's residence. The stream of light stopped above the Chiu family, and a figure gradually appeared. It was a handsome young man. The young man stood in the sky above the Chiu family. He looked down with a solemn expression and saw Chu Qingsong in the crowd. Mo Qingyun. When Mo Qingyun saw Chu Qingsong also saw him. He was so scared that his face turned pale and cold sweat broke out. He didn't expect the situation, he didn't want to see the most to happen so quickly. At this moment, Chu Qingsong suddenly felt regret. He knew that he had made a big mistake. "In-law, what's wrong?" Seeing the change in Chu Qingsong's expression, Chiu Minghong was puzzled. He couldn't help but glance at Mo Qingyun and asked, "In-law, could it be that this kid is looking for trouble with the Chu family? Since you and I are in-laws, I won't just sit and watch." In Chiu Minghong's opinion, Chu Qingsong wouldn't be so flustered if it wasn't an enemy. Hearing Chiu Minghong's words, Chu Qingsong was so scared that his legs went soft. He quickly pulled Chiu Minghong and said, "Chiu. Patriarch Chiu, calm down. He's not someone the Chiu family can provoke. You must not offend him. Could it be that this kid has a strong background?" Hearing Chu Qingsong's words, Chiu Minghong frowned slightly and began to guess. When this thought appeared in his mind, Chiu Minghong didn't act rashly. He immediately raised his guard. Seeing Chu Qingsong in the crowd, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and quickly came in front of him. He asked, "Patriarch Chu, where are Yunyun and Xiao Xiao?" They. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Chu Qingsong was immediately at a loss for words. He looked at Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao in panic. Seeing Chu Qingsong's reaction, Mo Qingyun's face turned cold. He followed Chu Qingsong's gaze. With one look, Mo Qingyun's face turned even colder. He emitted a shocking chill. Under this chill, the surrounding people trembled and looked at Mo Qingyun in horror. "Chu Qingsong, I'm very disappointed in you." Seeing the situation of Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao, Mo Qingyun angrily rebuked Chu Qingsong and rushed toward Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao. With a few flashes, Mo Qingyun arrived beside Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao. He looked at the people in front of him coldly. "Qingyun, you're here." Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrival, Chu Yunyun, Xiao Xiao and Xiao Xiao's faces were filled with joy. Their expressions revealed grievances. In the moment just now, they felt abandoned, which made their chests feel very stifled. Especially when they saw Chu Qingsong coming and found that they were being bullied by a group of people, but he didn't help them. Chu Qingsong's actions made them feel bitterly disappointed. It made them feel like they had been betrayed. I'm late. I've made you suffer. Looking at Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao in front of him, Mo Qinyun had an ashamed expression and apologized to the two girls. Chapter 1475. Brat, who are you? If you know what's good for you, get the hell away from the two ladies. Humph. A brat at the immortal infant stage wants to be a hero and save the ladies? You're looking for death. Seeing Mo Qinyun suddenly appear, everyone's face darkened. They looked at Mo Qinyun with disdain. Seeing everyone's actions, Chu Qingsong immediately panicked. He hurriedly said to Chiu Minghong, Master Chiu, quickly go and stop them. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. Hearing Chu Qingsong's words, Chiu Minghong was stunned. He asked in confusion, Master Chu, he's just a junior at the immortal infant stage. Is there a need to make such a fuss? Obviously, the cultivation that Mo Qinyun displayed on the surface had deceived Chiu Minghong. Chiu Minghong didn't think that Mo Qinyun was really that scary. Seeing Chiu Minghong's reaction, Chu Qingsong panicked. His heart was like ants on a hot pan. At this moment, he could already predict what was going to happen next. While Chu Qingsong's heart was in a mess, Mo Qinyun's face was cold. He glanced at the people in front of him and said, Yun Yun, Xiao Xiao, how do you want to deal with these people? Seeing Mo Qinyun ask for their opinion, Chu Yunyun and Xiao Xiao looked at each other. Chu Yunyun had a difficult expression and said, You can do as you see fit. However, today is Chu Jiao's wedding. Can you not kill people? It was obvious that Chu Yunyun cared about the feelings of others. She didn't want to ruin the atmosphere of Chu Jiao's wedding. Okay, I'll try my best. Hearing Chu Yunyun's request, Mo Qinyun nodded. He didn't give a definite answer. If it wasn't for the fact that these people didn't know how to appreciate kindness, he wouldn't have shown them mercy. In Mo Qinyun's opinion, violence was sometimes more useful than reason. You're lucky today. Yunyun asked for mercy on your behalf and asked me to spare your lives. Mo Qinyun's face darkened. He glanced at the people in front of him and said coldly, Now, each of you leave an arm behind and get out of my sight. Hearing Mo Qinyun's words, Chu Qingsong's expression immediately twitched, and he looked at those people with sympathy. He knew that once Mo Qinyun made a move, he would not show any mercy. The fact that these people were able to keep their lives today could be considered extremely fortunate. However, Chiu Minghong's thoughts were very different from Chu Qingsong's. In his opinion, Mo Qinyun's behavior was too arrogant. Humph! What a condescending brat, to actually dare to speak such nonsense in my Chiu clan. Chiu Minghong snorted coldly and walked towards Mo Qinyun with a displeased expression. He shouted, Brat, today is my son's big day. This old man doesn't want to make things difficult for you. Immediately apologize to all the young masters and then get out of my Chiu family if you know what's good for you. Your son's big day. Mo Qinyun narrowed his eyes and looked at Chiu Minghong coldly. He said coldly, So, Yunyun is here as a bridesmaid to attend your son's wedding? Hearing Mo Qinyun's question, Chiu Minghong was unyielding. He replied arrogantly, That's right. It's her honor to be able to be my son's bridesmaid and be appreciated by so many young masters. Old man, Yunyun is kind enough to be a bridesmaid. It's fine if you don't protect her, but now you're humiliating her. Very good, very good. Seeing Chiu Minghong's domineering attitude, Mo Qinyun smiled coldly and his eyes flashed with murderous intent. Seeing Mo Qinyun's reaction, Chu Qingsong's expression immediately changed. He knew that things were not going well. Immediately, Chu Qingsong did not dare to hesitate. He quickly walked in front of Mo Qinyun and said, Mr. Mo, this is all a misunderstanding. Messing with bridesmaids is a custom in Nanhua City. This is just a joke. Just a joke? Mo Qinyun looked coldly at Chu Qingsong. He was even more disappointed in him. He sneered and said, Master Chu, I'm afraid that you don't care because it's not your daughter who messed around, right? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chu Qingsong was at a loss for words, and a look of shame appeared on his face. Master Chu, he's just a junior. You don't have to be so afraid of him. Seeing Chu Qingsong being humiliated by Mo Qingyun, Chiu Minghong disdainfully glanced at Mo Qingyun. With an overbearing attitude he said, "Brat, don't think that you can be arrogant, conceited, and condescending just because you have some background. Today, I will properly teach you a lesson on behalf of his family." As soon as Chiu Minghong finished speaking, he was ready to attack Mo Qingyun. Master Chiu, please calm down." Seeing Chiu Minghong's actions, Chu Qingsong hurriedly pulled him back. He was so scared that he could not speak. What a joke! If Chiu Minghong attacked Mo Qingyun, the Chiu family would soon disappear in the long river of history. As Chu Qingsong pulled Chiu Minghong back, a young man and a woman walked over. They were Chu Jiao and Chiu Xinlong. At this moment, Chu Jiao's face was still slightly red. It seemed that she had just done something good. "Father, what happened?" Chiu Xinlong came to Chiu Minghong's side and asked with a puzzled and confused expression. "An insensible kid came. You don't have to pay attention to him. Just leave everything to me. Take Chu Jiao back to the house first." Seeing that Chiu Xinlong came to his side, Chiu Minghong waved his hand at Chiu Xinlong with a serious expression. "Okay." Hearing Chiu Minghong's words, Chiu Xinlong nodded and prepared to leave with Chu Jiao. Mo Qingyun. So it's him. When Chiu Xinlong left with Chu Jiao saw Mo Qingyun in front of her and immediately became angry. She scolded Chu Yunyun. "Chu Yunyun, you've gone too far. You actually brought this kid to cause trouble on my wedding day." In Chu Jiao's opinion, the current situation was probably the same as the previous incident with Zhao Shi. However, the Chiu family was not the Zhao family. The Chiu family had a major star expert. Therefore, Chu Jiao was not worried. Mo Qingyun could turn the sky upside down here. No one could suppress him. Chu Jiao, hearing Chu Jiao's words, Chu Yunyun felt wronged. If Chu Jiao had not begged her that day, she would not have agreed to it. Now that she had just finished being the bridesmaid, Chu Jiao scolded her like this. This action of burning the bridge after crossing the river was too much. "Chu Jiao, don't be rude." Seeing Chu Jiao's action, Chu Qingsong's expression trembled. He immediately scolded Chu Jiao. However, Chu Jiao was clearly in a fit of anger. She ignored Chu Qingsong's words and said, "Father, Chu Yunyun is just someone from the branch family. Why do you care so much about her? I asked her to be my bridesmaid. This is just lifting a leg for her, slap." Before Chu Jiao could finish her words, she was sent flying by a slap and landed heavily on the ground. The person who slapped her was naturally Mo Qingyun. Seeing Mo Qingyun hit her, the corners of Chu Jiao's eyes turned red. She looked at Mo Qingyun with a wronged expression and said, You dare to hit me? Cheap mouth. You deserve to be hit." Chapter 1476. Kid, you're courting death. Seeing Mo Qingyun hit Chu Jiao, Chiu Xinlong's face immediately darkened, and he blasted a palm towards Mo Qingyun. "Xinlong, don't." Seeing Chiu Xinlong's action, Chu Jiao's expression trembled, and she immediately shouted at Chiu Xinlong. She knew that Chiu Xinlong's strength was not a match for Mo Qingyun. Unfortunately, Chu Jiao's words were too late. Chiu Xinlong could no longer stop. The moment Chiu Xinlong attacked, he released the aura of the profound star realm, giving people a strong feeling. That kid is in trouble. He actually dared to slap his bride in front of Chiu Xinlong. This kid is really bold. He actually dares to be so arrogant in the Chiu family. He can escape death, but he can't escape punishment. I can guarantee that by this time next year, the grass on that kid's grave will be 2 meters tall. Seeing Chiu Xinlong attack Mo Qingyun, everyone sneered, thinking that Mo Qingyun was finished. Thinking about it, A true immortal against a heavenly immortal was not an absolute suppression. Just when everyone thought that Mo Qingyun was going to be at a disadvantage, Mo Qingyun extended a palm towards Qiu Xinlong. "Get over here and kneel." Mo Qingyun roared angrily, and a burst of violent immortal spiritual energy erupted from his palm. This burst of immortal spiritual energy turned into a giant blue palm and instantly defeated Qiu Xinlong's palm shadow. Then, everyone saw the giant blue palm capture Qiu Xinlong and bring him in front of Mo Qingyun. Bang! Under the force of the giant blue palm, Qiu Xinlong was directly smashed to the ground, and his legs went soft. Seeing this scene, everyone's eyes widened, not daring to believe what they saw. Qiu Xinlong, who was at the profound star realm, was actually unable to resist Mo Qingyun, who was at the immortal infant realm. This kid's strength is so terrifying. It's at least comparable to a minor star realm. Seeing Mo Qingyun suppressing Qiu Xinlong, everyone's expression changed. They began to see Mo Qingyun in a new light. At this moment, while everyone was shocked by Mo Qingyun's methods, 3 young women hurriedly approached. "Big brother!" When the 3 young women saw Qiu Xinlong kneeling on the ground, they were so shocked that their faces turned pale. Soon after, the 3 women revealed shocked expressions. They looked at Qiu Minghong and asked, "Father, what exactly happened? Why is Big Brother kneeling in front of that person?" Seeing Mo Qingyun beat Qiu Xinlong to his knees, Qiu Minghong was so angry that his face turned ashen. A cold light flashed in his eyes as he angrily shouted, "Brat, you've gone too far. No matter which power is behind you, I will kill you today." From Qiu Minghong's point of view, Mo Qingyun was causing trouble in the Qiu family. If he didn't eliminate Mo Qingyun, how would the Qiu family survive in the future? Immortal technique of vanquishing finger. Shouting angrily at Mo Qingyun, Qiu Minghong blasted out a finger attack. Then, a sharp ray of light shot out from Qiu Minghong's finger. In the face of Qiu Minghong's finger attack, Mo Qingyun's expression didn't change. He immediately summoned the ghost from the constellation and shouted, "Capture him for me." As Mo Qingyun spoke, an aura comparable to the constellation suddenly exploded beside him. Following behind this terrifying aura, a huge gray figure appeared beside Mo Qingyun. Roar! As soon as the huge gray figure appeared, he grabbed at Qiu Minghong with his palm. With an unstoppable force, he instantly shattered Qiu Minghong's attack. After shattering Qiu Minghong's attack, the gray figure didn't stop attacking and continued to grab at Qiu Minghong. Then, everyone saw the huge creature capture Qiu Minghong and bring him to Mo Qingyun. Boom! A loud sound was heard. Like Qiu Xinlong, Qiu Minghong was forced to the ground and kneeled in front of Mo Qingyun. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people widened their eyes and opened their mouths in shock. This scene came so suddenly that they weren't prepared at all. Constellation. Constellation Realm Ghost. Under the strong suppression of the ghost, Qiu Minghong's expression twitched and a chill rose in his heart. At this moment, he finally understood why Chu Qingsong was so afraid of Mo Qingyun. The strongest person in the Qiu family was only at the mid-major constellation realm. How could he be a match for a constellation realm ghost? At this moment, not only Qiu Minghong, but the young men who wanted to take advantage of the 2 girls were also trembling in fear. This time, they were in trouble. Custom, right? Are you kidding? Looking at Qiu Minghong kneeling on the ground and Chu Qingsong standing behind him, Mo Qingyun retorted with a sarcastic tone. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qiu Minghong and the rest broke out in cold sweat. With panicked expressions, they begged for mercy. Young master, we know we were wrong. Please spare us this time." As they spoke, they all knelt down, hoping that Mo Qingyun would spare them. "Don't. This is so fun. Since you guys like to play so much, I'll play with you too." Looking at the people kneeling in front of him, Mo Qingyun revealed a sinister smile. His expression was full of mockery. Glancing at Xiao Minghong's 3 daughters and the pale Chu Jiao, Mo Qingyun ordered the young men in front of him, "Since you guys like to mess around so much, I'll give you a chance to mess around with Chu Jiao and the 3 girls. I'm sure messing around with the bride would be more exciting." No, we can't mess around with Chu Jiao and Qiu Ling." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qiu Xinlong's expression immediately trembled, and he loudly objected. "Why?" Mo Qingyun revealed a mocking expression as he looked at Qiu Xinlong in front of him and said, "Because Chu Jiao is your wife and Qiu Ling and the rest are your sisters. So, they can't be teased or flirted with, right?" Under Mo Qingyun's questioning, Qiu Xinlong and the rest fell silent, each of them revealing a guilty expression. It seemed that Mo Qingyun had pointed out their true thoughts without any concealment. Seeing their reactions, Mo Qingyun coldly snorted and shouted at the people in front of him, "Don't just stand there. Whatever thoughts you had in mind just now, use them all on Chu Jiao and the rest." "No, we can't." Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Qiu Minghong and Chu Qingsong's expressions trembled, and they immediately shouted at Mo Qingyun. Seeing Chu Qingsong and Qiu Minghong's actions, Mo Qingyun revealed a cold expression and said coldly, "The 2 of you, if you don't want a happy occasion to turn into a funeral, you'd better shut your mouths." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chu Qingsong and Qiu Minghong instantly trembled, not daring to let out half a fart. Compared to the interests of the entire family, they could only sacrifice Chu Jiao and the rest. The young men at the side still looked at each other, not daring to do anything to Chu Jiao and the rest. Seeing these people's actions, Qiu Minghong and the rest relaxed, thinking that Mo Qingyun had no other choice. Chapter 1477. Don't dare to make a move? Weren't you very strong just now? Seeing the reaction of the person in front of him, Mo Qingyun coldly asked. He pointed at one of them and said, "You, go over first and demonstrate your idea." No. Hearing Mo Qingyun call his name, the person was so scared that his face turned pale. He hurriedly shook his head and begged for mercy. Young master, I was wrong. Please forgive me." "Forgive you? When Yunyun asked you to stop, why didn't you stop?" Mo Qingyun retorted coldly as he looked at this person with disgust. Then, he pointed a finger at this person. A surging finger light shot out from Mo Qingyun's little finger and hit the person's shoulder overbearingly. Crack! Under the attack of the finger light, the person's arm was instantly broken. "My arm!" After his arm was broken by Mo Qingyun, the person immediately screamed and rolled on the ground in pain. Seeing the person's miserable state, the others were shocked. They all sucked in a breath of cold air and didn't dare to breathe loudly. "No. I don't want my arm to be broken. I don't want to die." Perhaps because his heart was too scared, the person couldn't control his emotions and directly entered a state of madness. Soon after, that person leaped and prepared to flee. Light from the eye blade. Seeing the person trying to escape, Mo Qingyun's right eye flashed with purple light and shot out a light from the eye blade. The light from the eye blade shot out from Mo Qingyun's eye and turned into a bolt of lightning, directly hitting the person's head. Boom! After being hit by the light from the eye blade, the person's head exploded. Even his soul couldn't escape. With just a glance, a star accumulation expert was killed by Mo Qingyun just like that. Seeing this scene, the last trace of hope in the crowd was instantly extinguished. "You! Do what I said just now." Mo Qingyun pointed at another person, telling him to take advantage of Chu Jiao and the others. His eyes were cold. Seeing the former two's miserable state, the man didn't dare to hesitate any longer and immediately ran over to take advantage of Chu Jiao and the others. "No. Don't." Seeing this person's actions, Qiu Xinlong's face was filled with grief and indignation as he roared at the top of his lungs. His woman and sister were being humiliated, but he couldn't do anything about it. This kind of torture was too cruel. "Don't just stand there, go over." Glancing at the remaining people, Mo Qingyun called out their names one by one and directly gave them orders. Since someone had taken the lead, the rest of the people did not have any misgivings and revealed their true nature one by one. Not only that, under the temptation and stimulation of the beauty, they seemed to be a little excited, and their actions became more and more excessive. Father, save me! Big brother, save me! New dragon, save me! No, don't touch me! Faced with the humiliation of the crowd, Chu Jiao and the others screamed miserably and begged for mercy. Unfortunately, Chu Qingsong and the others did not respond to their pleas. At this moment, the four of them were abandoned and treated as sacrifices by their family. Seeing Chu Jiao and the others being raped, Chu Yunyun, Gui Yu and Xiao Xiao's faces turned red and shyly turned their heads away. Seeing Chu Yunyun and Gui Yu and Xiao Xiao's embarrassed faces, Mo Qingyun knew that it was about time. He ordered those people, "All right, you can stop now." Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, most of them immediately stopped and looked at Mo Qingyun in horror. However, some of them were blinded by lust. At this moment, they didn't listen to Mo Qingyun's orders at all. Now, they were no longer satisfied with touching and touching. They were prepared to have a real fight. Rip, rip, under these people's attacks, Chu Jiao and the others' clothes were torn, revealing their snow-white skin. It was very embarrassing. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun had a mocking look on his face. He looked at Chu Qingsong and Gui Yu and said, "Is this the custom? Is this what you call a joke?" Facing Mo Qingyun's questioning, Chu Qingsong and the others were ashamed and lowered their heads guiltily. Now that there were so many people here, these people couldn't even maintain their rationality, let alone when they weren't here. Seeing that everyone was silent, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste time talking nonsense with them. He stopped those people's actions. Soon, rays of oppressive finger light blasted out from Mo Qingyun's little finger. These finger lights blasted out and hit each person's arm, interrupting their movements. Their arms were crippled by Mo Qingyun. These people screamed and became a little more clear-headed. After crippling these people's arms, Mo Qingyun didn't stop and crippled the rest of the people's arms. With this, those who bullied Chu Yunyun and Gui Yu were all punished. "Let's go." After Mo Qingyun was done, he said something to Chu Yunyun and Gui Yu and led them out of the Chiu residence. Chu Yunyun and Gui Yu nodded and followed Mo Qingyun out of the Chiu residence. Phew! Seeing Mo Qingyun and the others leave, Chiu Minghong and the others relaxed and heaved a sigh of relief. This fiend was finally gone. Send the four of them back to their rooms first. Looking at Chu Jiao and the others, Chiu Minghong instructed Chiu Xinlong to help them settle down. Yes. Chiu Xinlong's face was gloomy. He walked towards Chu Jiao and the others and sent them back to their rooms. However, anyone with a discerning eye could see that Chiu Xinlong was looking at Chu Jiao with obvious disdain and disgust. When Chiu Xinlong took Chu Jiao and the others away, Chiu Minghong felt a headache coming on when he saw those young men whose arms were crippled. What should he do? How could he give the other family a reply? To avenge these people? Unless he was tired of living. It seems that I've really made a mistake this time. Unlike Chiu Minghong, Chu Qingsong's current mood was more of regret and self-blame. He had missed an opportunity to make the Chu family rise again just like that. "Qingyun, where are we going now?" After leaving the Chiu residence, Chu Yunyun looked confused and asked Mo Qingyun about his plans. Based on the current situation, she couldn't return to the Chu family. "Follow me to meet a few friends first. Then, I'll help you settle down." Hearing Chu Yunyun's question, Mo Qingyun gave a simple reply and summoned the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. Then, Mo Qingyun and the others rode the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and flew in a certain direction. Previously, when Mo Qingyun and Lu Yanghu parted ways in the northern settled Void Mountain Range, they had agreed to meet in the Yongnan Celestial Domain. Not long ago, Mo Qingyun had received news from Lu Yanghu and the others that they had settled down. Since Lu Yonghu and the others had settled down, Mo Qingyun naturally had to meet with them to discuss the next deployment. Now, Mo Qingyun had a blueprint of a plan in his heart. Chapter 1478. When Lu Yonghu arrived in the Yongnan Immortal Domain, they followed Mo Qingyun's instructions and took control of a small family. This small family was not far from Nanhua City. With the flying speed of the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, it would take about a day to get there. After leaving the Chiu family, Mo Qingyun and the other two rode on the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle and rushed towards Lu Yonghu's family. On the way to Lu Yonghu's place, Mo Qingyun discovered a very strange situation. He discovered that there were many people who looked the same in the Yongnan Immortal Domain. It was as if they were cast from the same mold. Why do these people all look the same? Mo Qingyun was very puzzled when he discovered that these people looked exactly the same. Even if they were twins, it was impossible for dozens or even hundreds of them to look the same. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun kept pondering, but he still could not come up with a perfect answer. Replicas? While Mo Qingyun was racking his brains to no avail, Wu Yu's astonished voice rang out in his mind. Replicas? What do you mean? Mo Qingyun was puzzled and unconsciously asked Wu Yu. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Wu Yu's expression was incomparably heavy. He sighed and said, "It seems that the dark demon race has made a comeback. The peace of the wild continent is about to be broken." Wu Yu sighed, calming the shock in his heart, and began to explain to Mo Qingyun. Replicas are a kind of death warrior cultivated by the dark devil race. They capture geniuses and experts with extraordinary talent and use their blood to cultivate a kind of talent and strength that is similar to those geniuses and experts. These things are called replicas. They can do that? Hearing Wu Yu's explanation, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He did not expect the dark demon race to have this kind of ability. It was no wonder that everyone would feel a chill down their spine when they mentioned the dark demon race. Everyone avoided them like the plague. With the dark demon race's ability, if they were not restrained, everyone would become their test subjects. That's right, Ko Kun 9 at the Demon River should be a replica, right? At this moment, Mo Qingyun's thoughts stirred as he recalled a major discovery. After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun's eyes immediately lit up. He said with a look of understanding, "It seems that Lu Bing and Li Yuanxiong's increase in strength has something to do with the replicas. Perhaps their replicas were not very successful." Along the way, Mo Qingyun and Wu Yu chatted about the dark demon race. One day later, Mo Qingyun and Wu Yu arrived at the residence of Lu Yonghu and the others. "Everyone, long time no see. Brother Mo, long. When Lu Yonghu and the others saw Mo Qingyun, they all smiled warmly and welcomed him into the mansion. God race? Seeing Lu Yonghu and the others, Wu Yu frowned slightly. He was surprised by the scene in front of him. He realized that Yao Yunli and the others seemed to be from the immortal race. From the interaction between Mo Qingyun and them, they seemed to have a deep relationship. But now, Mo Qingyun had a deep relationship with a group of God race. This was a little strange. Could he be a spy sent by the God race to the immortal race? Wu Yu thought of a possibility, but he quickly shook his head and rejected it. He muttered to himself, even if Mo Qingyun was a spy, he should be in a big sect of the immortal race. He wouldn't go to a small force like the Heavenly Devil Talisman Stronghold. Why is that? Wu Yu frowned. He could not figure it out. Qingyun, they are all from the God race? Seeing Lu Yonghu and the others, Gui Yu and Xiao Xiao felt the same. They looked at Lu Yonghu and the others in surprise. They did not expect Mo Qingyun to be in contact with the God race. Their relationship seemed to be quite good. That's right. Mo Qingyun did not hide the identity of Lu Yonghu and the others. He told the two girls the truth. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, with the relationship between the two girls and him, they would not leak this information. In my eyes, there is no difference between the immortal race and the god race. There is only the difference between good and evil. Looking at the shocked faces of the two girls, Mo Qingyun explained to them. He continued, among the immortal race, there are many despicable people, such as the ever-changing Gold family and the Qiu family. But among the god race, not everyone is evil. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Gui Yu and Xiao Xiao fell silent. They could not refute Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun was right. Nothing was absolute. One could not generalize from one side. It seems that this little master of mine has a very high awareness. Perhaps following him will not be a mistake. Hearing Mo Qingyun's explanation, Wu Yu showed a look of admiration. He acknowledged Mo Qingyun even more. In his opinion, it was not easy to treat the god race and the immortal race as equals. Soon, Mo Qingyun followed Lu Yanghu and the others into the inner courtyard. After entering the inner courtyard of the mansion, Lu Yanghu's expression turned serious. He said to Mo Qingyun with a heavy expression, "Brother Mo, according to our investigation during this period, it seems that someone wants to harm you. You must be careful." "Harm me?" Mo Qingyun was puzzled. He did not understand what Lu Yanghu meant. Seeing Mo Qingyun's puzzled expression, Lu Yanghu did not hesitate. He immediately explained to Mo Qingyun, according to our observation during this period, many geniuses of the younger generation have been captured by a powerful force. There is such a thing? Mo Qingyun's expression was shocked. He was shocked by Lu Yanghu's news. Soon, Mo Qingyun's face showed a look of understanding. He had an answer to his doubts. If I'm not mistaken, that powerful force should be the dark demon race. Those people who looked the same on the way should be replicas made using the geniuses of the other forces as template. It seemed that this was the only explanation for the situation. While Mo Qingyun was thinking, Lu Yanghu did not stop talking. He continued, "After discovering this, I investigated carefully. I found that the three great immortal palaces issued a recall order to capture you." "Capture me?" Mo Qingyun was stunned at first. Then, he understood the reason. He thought of a terrifying result. It seems that those who attacked the Eternal South Immortal Palace are from the Dark Demon race. Only the Dark Demon race would be interested in a disciple of the Eternal South Immortal Palace after conquering it. Since the Dark Demon race had created replicas and needed to capture a large number of geniuses, he was obviously the most suitable candidate. In the three great immortal realms, was there anyone who was more talented than him? If that's the case, my situation is indeed not safe. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun suddenly realized that his situation was indeed dangerous. Chapter 1479. Dong Dong Dong. While Mo Qingyun and the others were discussing, a series of rude knocks came from the front of the mansion. Hearing this, Lu Yanghu and the others tensed up, looking very nervous. At this time, an old man walked over respectfully. He was the head of this small family. The old man reported, "Master Lu, bad news. There are many immortal guards outside. They are preparing to enter the mansion to search." Hearing this, Lu Yanghu's expression changed. He hurriedly urged Mo Qingyun, "Brother Mo, leave quickly. We will delay them for a while." "Immortal guards?" Mo Qingyun had a puzzled look on his face as he asked in confusion, "Which faction are these people from? Why haven't I heard of them before?" In Mo Qingyun's knowledge, immortal guards didn't exist in the three immortal realms. "Master, the immortal guards were formed by the three immortal palaces. They say it's to maintain the stability of the three immortal realms, but in reality, they are capturing the geniuses of the three immortal realms." The old man sighed. He was obviously disappointed with the actions of the three immortal palaces. They were formed by the three immortal palaces? Mo Qingyun was stunned. He was very surprised by this situation. That's right. Ever since the three immortal palaces were taken over by a mysterious force, their nature has completely changed. Speaking of the three immortal realms' recent actions, the old man sighed and said in a deep voice, "The immortal guards have spiritual stones. They can sense the cultivation talent of cultivators. They can find hidden geniuses and capture them to the three immortal palaces. There is such an item." Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up. If this was true, he would definitely be detected by the spiritual stones. While Mo Qingyun was thinking, the old man looked nervous and urged Mo Qingyun and the others, "Masters, your talents are amazing. You should leave this place as soon as possible." As expected, when Mo Qingyun and the others were talking, there was a commotion outside the mansion. The spiritual stones are moving. There must be a genius in the mansion. The spiritual stones can sense it from so far away. That person's talent must be amazing. The spiritual resonance stone caused such a huge commotion. His cultivation talent might be above the 7th grade. If we capture him, we will definitely be seriously injured. After a loud noise, Mo Qingyun saw a group of people barging in. These people walked up to Mo Qingyun and the others and looked at Mo Qingyun and the others arrogantly. The strength of these people was not bad. All of them were at the level of a small star. They could be considered experts in a small family. The color of the spirit stone has changed. There are gods among them. While these people were sizing up Mo Qingyun and the others, one of them suddenly looked shocked and said excitedly, "Capture these people and bring them back. If we can make the Lord happy, maybe we will have a chance to fuse with a high-grade bloodline. It really is the dark demon race." Hearing the conversation in front of him, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He immediately guessed their identities. After knowing these people's identities, Mo Qingyun did not want to be soft-hearted. He said to the people behind him, "Captain Liu, take everyone to the back first. I will deal with these people. Brother Mo, be careful. These people are all at the level of a small star." Although Liu Yanghu knew of Mo Qingyun's strength, he was still worried about Mo Qingyun dealing with so many small star experts. After all, when Mo Qingyun was in the God's Eye Manor, the number of small star experts he faced was not as many as now. Compared to the panic of Liu Yanghu and the others, Chu Yunyun and the other girl were much calmer. They knew Mo Qingyun's ability very well. "Come out and kill them!" Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun summoned a group of ghosts and surrounded the immortal guards in an instant. At the sight of this scene, all the immortal guards were dumbfounded. They were caught off guard by the sudden turn of events. What was going on? A breath ago they were still hunters. How did they become lambs waiting to be slaughtered in a breath's time? There was no way around it. They only had a dozen people on their side, and they were all at the level of a small star. On the other hand, Mo Qingyun's side not only had dozens of people, but they were all at the level of a large star. You can't bully people like this. "Young master, I'm sorry. We made a mistake just now." "Yes, we made a mistake. Your talent is not high at all." "Yes, with your talent, how could you attract the attention of the spiritual stone?" These people were crafty. Seeing that the situation was not good, they immediately explained to Mo Qingyun. However, they did not think that when they said this, they had already offended Mo Qingyun. What did they mean by not high talent? What did they mean by not being able to attract the attention of the spiritual stone? "Brother Mo, quickly deal with them. They are trying to delay for time to call for reinforcements." Seeing their actions, Liu Yanghu's expression changed. He immediately reminded Mo Qingyun. While Liu Yanghu was reminding Mo Qingyun, another large group of people rushed over. Each of them had an arrogant expression. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that the leader was actually someone familiar. It was the East Dawn Immortal Palace's palace lord, Li Chang. Oh no! Their reinforcements came so quickly. Seeing these people suddenly arrive, Liu Yanghu and the rest tensed up. They revealed a trace of panic. This was because he sensed that there was an expert at the constellation level in this group. This was not someone they could fight against. It's too late to find out my purpose now. Haha. Seeing that their reinforcements had arrived, these people were ecstatic. Their expressions were full of mockery. Mo Qingyun, it's actually you. Li Chang led the group to provide reinforcements. When he saw Mo Qingyun not far ahead, he immediately revealed a shocked expression. He really did not expect to meet Mo Qingyun here. This was really an unexpected gain. So many genius disciples of the East Dawn Immortal Palace died in the hands of Mo Qingyun. This grudge could finally be avenged now. Palace Lord Li Chang, long time no see. Looking at the gloomy gaze of Li Chang in midair, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and greeted him. He said with a smile, Palace Lord Li Chang, you are the dignified East Dawn Immortal Palace's Palace Lord. To think that you are actually reduced to running errands for others. This really makes this junior sigh with emotion. Mo Qingyun also did not expect that the dignified East Dawn Immortal Palace's Palace Lord would be reduced to such a state. In Mo Qingyun's view, even if the East Dawn Immortal Palace was captured, Li Chang should not be assigned to run errands. Mo Qingyun, even if I am now in dire straits, I will still kill you today. When he heard Mo Qingyun's sarcastic words and thought of Mo Qingyun's previous actions, Li Chang's face immediately darkened. He shouted angrily, Today, without Shi Tongqing and the others, I'll see who can save you now. In Li Chang's view, with the peak of the constellation level and the strength of the experts at the half-step golden celestial stage, it would be easy to capture Mo Qingyun. Palace Lord Li Chang, you are already in dire straits. Is there any meaning in boasting? In response to Li Chang's cold words, Mo Qingyun did not care at all and responded indifferently. Chapter 1480. Even if Master and the others aren't here, you still can't do anything to me. With a wave of his hand, Mo Qingyun summoned another large group of specters from the Five Directions Pagoda. Seeing the sudden appearance of the large group of ghosts, Li Chang and the others were shocked and some fear appeared in their eyes. Facing so many ghosts, even if they killed Mo Qingyun, they would have to pay a heavy price. Humph. So what if you can control ghosts? Without a constellation ghost, you will still die in my hand. Sensing the cultivation of the ghosts around him, Li Chang's expression turned cold, and a strong sneer appeared on his face again. However, before Li Chang could finish speaking, he felt a burning sensation on his face, as if he had been slapped. This was because a ghost from a constellation had appeared beside Mo Qingyun. This was clearly a slap to his face. Didn't he say that Mo Qingyun didn't have a constellation ghost? In the blink of an eye, Mo Qingyun had summoned a constellation ghost. This was too ironic. A constellation ghost. Li Chang's pupils shrank, and his expression became much more serious. He was no longer as arrogant as before. A ghost with such strength was enough to pose a threat to him. Kill! After Mo Qingyun summoned a ghost, he didn't waste time talking nonsense with Li Chang and immediately ordered the ghosts to attack. Soon, Li Chang and the others were surrounded by ghosts, and each of them showed a nervous expression. Although they had a half-step golden immortal like Li Chang on their side, there were too many ghosts in front of them. A rough estimate showed that there were at least dozens of times more ghosts than them. How could they fight? However, they didn't have a choice now, because the ghosts were already rushing towards them. Mo Qingyun, these ghosts are under your control. As long as I kill you, they won't be a problem. When Li Chang figured out the crux of the matter, a cold smile appeared on his face. He quickly rushed toward Mo Qingyun and said, Mo Qingyun, although you have a constellation-level ghost, it alone is not enough to stop me. Obediently accept your death. Li Chang's idea was good, but the reality almost made him vomit blood. Li Chang, although I want to use the ghosts of the constellations to stop you, the ghosts of the major constellations can do the same. Seeing Li Chang charging towards him, Mo Qingyun revealed a mocking smile and gave orders to the ghosts. Then, several greater star-level ghosts charged at Li Chang. A mantis trying to stop a chariot. Li Chang's face was filled with disdain as he looked at the large star-position ghosts charging towards him. He raised his hand and blasted towards the large star-position ghost. However, before Li Chang could strike out with his palm, the following scene caused him to turn pale with fright. Bang bang bang, a series of loud noises suddenly echoed in front of him. The large star-level ghosts that were charging at him suddenly self-destructed, creating a terrifying storm of spiritual energy. Facing the impact of these spiritual storms, Li Chang, who bore the brunt, was instantly swallowed up by the spiritual storms. Emo Qingyun, you motherf asterisk cur. Under the impact of the spiritual energy storm, even with Li Chang's mentality, he couldn't help but curse loudly. He was insidious. In order to deal with him, Emo Qingyun didn't hesitate to let the ghosts self-destruct. What made Li Chang even more speechless was that Emo Qingyun had many more large star-level ghosts under his control. There were hundreds of them. If he were to be blown up hundreds of times, even if he was an elite in the Golden Immortal stage, he would probably be half dead. At the thought of such a situation, Li Chang couldn't help but shudder. He felt a trace of fear towards Emo Qingyun. Emo Qingyun, these large star-level ghosts are hard to come by. Are you really willing to give them up like this? Escaping from the spiritual storm in a sorry state, Li Chang said in a panic. He was afraid that Emo Qingyun would really do that. As long as Palace Master Li Chang is willing, what's the point of giving them all up? Seeing that Li Chang had escaped from the spiritual storm, Emo Qingyun ordered some large star-level ghosts to immediately charge towards Li Chang. When these large star-level ghosts approached Li Chang, they self-destructed, creating a spiritual storm that engulfed Li Chang. Emo Qingyun, *ck your mother. You wretch, be careful. If you have the guts, fight me one-on-one. Being engulfed by the spiritual storm again, Li Chang almost went crazy. He madly cursed at Emo Qingyun. He was an elite in the half-step Golden Immortal stage, but he couldn't even touch the other party's hair when dealing with a kid in the Immortal Infant stage. He was beaten black and blue. This kind of thing was too humiliating and too aggrieving. Fight me one-on-one. Looking at Li Chang, who had escaped from the spiritual storm in a sorry state, Emo Qingyun smiled playfully and said, "Okay, I'll satisfy you." The sealed door. As soon as Emo Qingyun finished speaking, he pointed at Li Chang and blasted out a mini version of the light door. Then, this mini version of the light door turned into a stream of light and blasted into Li Chang's body before he could react. My cultivation? After being hit by the sealed door, Li Chang's eyes widened. He looked at Emo Qingyun in shock and said in horror, "Emo Qingyun, what did you do to me?" Just as Li Chang's face was filled with horror, he was shocked to find that his cultivation was falling rapidly. In a short while, Li Chang's cultivation fell to the early stage of the constellation stage. It looked like he would fall back to the major constellation stage at any time. Emo Qingyun didn't answer Li Chang's question. Instead, he ordered the ghosts to blow up Li Chang again. Seeing another group of ghosts rushing over, Li Chang was so scared that his face trembled. He roared at Emo Qingyun, "Emo Qingyun, you untrustworthy villain. Didn't you say you would fight me one-on-one? Sorry, the first round of the one-on-one is over." Hearing Li Chang's words, Emo Qingyun smiled faintly and casually replied to Li Chang. Emo Qingyun wouldn't fight Li Chang one-on-one. At least now wasn't the time. As the saying went, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse. Li Chang was a half-step Golden Immortal. Even if Emo Qingyun used the fused gate, his cultivation could reach the late stage of the constellation stage. However, with Emo Qingyun's cultivation, it was still not safe to fight Li Chang to the death. Therefore, Emo Qingyun decided to sacrifice some ghosts first to deplete some of Li Chang's strength. Anyway, even if Mo Qingyun didn't want to sacrifice the ghosts, as time passed, the ghost's strength would slowly weaken. Instead of that, it was better to bombard Li Chang now and weaken his combat strength. If Li Chang knew that Mo Qingyun had such thoughts, he would probably vomit blood in anger. Hearing Mo Qingyun's shameless reply, Li Chang was so angry that his whole body trembled. Was there anything more shameless than this? Damn it, he wasn't ready, and Mo Qingyun said that the first round was over? Was there a turn-based life and death duel? Seeing Li Chang being tortured by Mo Qingyun, the surrounding people were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe that this was real. Was Li Chang really a half-step golden immortal? Chapter 1481. While Li Chang was fighting with Mo Qingyun, all the people he had brought with him had been killed by the ghost. Seeing his subordinates killed, Li Chang's expression was extremely ugly. He felt like a huge rock was pressing down on his chest. He was the former palace lord of the East Dawn Immortal Palace, a half-step golden immortal. Now, he was being toyed with by a junior at the immortal infant stage when he tried to teach him a lesson. This was too humiliating. Mo Qingyun, I'm going to kill you! Li Chang roared and charged at Mo Qingyun like a madman, braving the spiritual energy storm caused by the ghost's self-destruction. Seeing Li Chang's actions, Mo Qingyun's expression tightened. He didn't dare to underestimate him anymore. The Gate of Fusion. To prevent Li Chang from having any other tricks up his sleeve, Mo Qingyun immediately fused with the constellation ghost and raised his cultivation. Once he had the cultivation of the constellation ghost, even if Li Chang wanted to do something, it would be useless. Soon, everyone saw Mo Qingyun fusing with the constellation ghost and raising his strength rapidly. Before long, the aura that Mo Qingyun emitted reached the level of a constellation. Constellation ghost. Lu Yanghu and the others narrowed their eyes. They looked at Mo Qingyun with disbelief. This situation was too unexpected for them. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would have found it hard to believe that Mo Qingyun had become so powerful. Constellation ghost? How is this possible? After finally arriving in front of Mo Qingyun, he realized that Mo Qingyun's cultivation had reached the constellation ghost level. Li Chang felt as disgusted as if he had eaten a dead fly. How could he be played like this? Mo Qingyun didn't care about Li Chang's mood. When he saw Li Chang approaching, he took out his scarlet meteorite battle halberd. Heavenly Flame's sky-breaking halberd. Mo Qingyun waved the scarlet meteorite battle halberd and released a shocking amount of immortal spiritual energy, forming a huge fire dragon halberd light. After the fire dragon halberd light was formed, it charged at Li Chang and stopped him in his tracks. Explode! Mo Qingyun slashed out with his halberd at Li Chang, stopping him in his tracks. Then, he ordered a few more ghosts to self-destruct. Bang bang bang! A series of earth-shattering noises could be heard. At the same time, a terrifying storm of spiritual energy engulfed Li Chang in a violent manner. Suffering from the dual attacks of the fire dragon halberd light and the spirit energy storm, Li Chang was now in a miserable state. He could only cover his head and continuously dodge. But even so, under the attack of the fire dragon halberd light and the spiritual energy storm, he still suffered heavy injuries. More importantly, Mo Qingyun did not stop there. Instead, he continued to launch sneak attacks from the side. Faced with Mo Qingyun's sneak attacks and the suicidal self-detonation of the ghosts, Li Chang was now in a terrible fix. If his cultivation base had not reached the half-step golden celestial stage, he would have been killed by Mo Qingyun. But this could not go on. As time passed, his injuries would worsen. Sooner or later, he would be killed by Mo Qingyun. I can't drag this out any longer. I have to leave this place immediately. As his injuries worsened, Li Chang's mind calmed down. He knew that he would not be able to kill Mo Qingyun today. Although he didn't want to admit it, He was defeated by a junior at the immortal infant stage. However, he had no choice but to admit that he had been utterly defeated this time. Emo Qingyun, I will definitely return today's grudge tenfold. Since he had decided to take his revenge, Li Chang did not hesitate. He immediately turned around and prepared to break through the spiritual energy storm and escape. Hearing Li Chang's words, the surrounding people were shocked. They felt that it was unreal. Li Chang wants to escape? Is he admitting defeat? I think so. An expert of the constellation realm was actually defeated by Brother Mo. Brother Mo is too strong. This was a battle that spanned an entire realm. Seeing that Li Chang was preparing to escape, Lu Yanghu and the rest sighed. They admired Mo Qingyun to the extreme. While Lu Yanghu and the rest were sighing, Mo Qingyun's figure moved. He chased after Li Chang and said, "Palace Lord Li Chang, didn't you want to fight me one-on-one? Why are you running away now? Are you afraid of admitting defeat?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Chang had the urge to vomit blood. He wanted to rush up and fight to the death with Mo Qingyun. He was actually mocked by an immortal infant stage kid. However, Li Chang suppressed his anger. He did not lose his mind because of Mo Qingyun's words. Kid, I was careless this time. You won't be so lucky next time." Li Chang snorted. He did not even look back as he ran for his life. He wanted to get rid of Mo Qingyun as quickly as possible. Seeing Li Chang's performance, Mo Qingyun guessed his thoughts. He immediately increased his flying speed. Traceless Devil Shadow. Thunder and Wind Dao. With Mo Qingyun flying at full speed, he quickly caught up with Li Chang and came to the front of Li Chang. The power of Dao? How is this possible? Sensing the power of Dao on Mo Qingyun, Li Chang was stunned. He looked at Mo Qingyun in disbelief. From what he knew, the power of Dao was something that could only be comprehended by an elite in the golden celestial stage. Even if there were very few geniuses who could comprehend it before the golden celestial stage, they would at least be in the constellation stage. Now, Mo Qingyun, a kid in the immortal infant stage, had successfully comprehended the power of Dao. This was too strange and too frightening. Even if Mo Qingyun had only comprehended a little bit of the power of Wind Dao, it was not even the tip of the iceberg. This was very frightening. This kid is too strange. I can't continue to be entangled with him. When he realized that Mo Qingyun had comprehended the power of Dao, Li Chang's expression trembled. His fear of Mo Qingyun grew stronger. At this moment, Mo Qingyun, who was standing in front of him, seemed to be wrapped in a black fog, giving him a mysterious and strange feeling. Mo Qingyun, although your means are strange, you can't keep me here. After Li Chang finished speaking, he took out a seal and stared at Mo Qingyun gloomily. When the seal was taken out, it gave off a terrifying aura, which made Mo Qingyun's heart tremble. This was a protection seal that contained the power of Dao. It seems that I can't kill Li Chang today. When he saw the protection seal in Li Chang's hand, Mo Qingyun sighed and felt a little disappointed. However, although he couldn't kill Li Chang, Mo Qingyun wouldn't let him go easily. He had to force him to use up the protection seal. As long as Li Chang used up the protection seal, the next time Mo Qingyun saw him, he would have the opportunity to kill him. Whether I can keep you here or not, we'll know after we try. Mo Qingyun snorted coldly. His body turned into a streamer and rushed toward Li Chang. When Mo Qingyun rushed toward Li Chang, his left hand formed a handprint and quickly formed the shape of a light gate. Mo Qingyun activated the teleportation gate in advance to prevent Li Chang from activating the protection seal, so that he would be attacked by the power of the protection seal. Chapter 1482. It's this door of light again. When he saw Mo Qingyun activate the teleportation gate, Li Chang's face immediately trembled in fright. His face paled. After being hit by the gate of seals earlier, He had developed an instinctive fear of the Gate of Light. Li Chang no longer hesitated. He immediately activated the protection seal and blasted it towards Mo Qingyun. When he saw Li Chang activate the protection seal, a smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. He had achieved his goal. The teleportation gate. When Mo Qingyun smiled, he did not hesitate at all. He immediately activated the teleportation gate. Then, Mo Qingyun charged into the teleportation gate and left where he was, avoiding the attack of the protection seal. This Gate of Light isn't for attacking? It's for escaping? When he saw Mo Qingyun's actions, Li Chang was instantly dumbfounded. He knew that he had been tricked by Mo Qingyun. If he had known this would happen, he would not have activated the protection seal. Now that things had turned out this way, he had wasted a protection Dao seal for nothing. When he thought of the value of the protection seal, Li Chang's heart ached. He roared furiously, "Mo Qingyun, you treacherous and shameless villain! You actually tricked me into using the protection seal!" Li Chang roared furiously and fled into the distance. He did not dare to attack Mo Qingyun. He knew that now that he had used the protection seal, there was nothing else that could deter Mo Qingyun. If he attacked Mo Qingyun again, he really might not be able to escape. He would nurse a grievance under Mo Qingyun's halberd. Swish! Using the teleportation gate to avoid the protection seal's attack, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and reappeared not too far away. When he saw that Li Chang had fled, Mo Qingyun did not feel any regret. He smiled playfully, "I've used up your protection seal this time. If I see you again, just wait to be killed." This time, Mo Qingyun did not kill Li Chang. Firstly, he was wary of the protection Dao seal. Secondly, Li Chang escaped too quickly for the ghosts to catch up. Without any ghosts to whittle down Li Chang's combat strength, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to recklessly engage him in a battle. He was worried that Li Chang still had a powerful trump card up his sleeve. One had to know that Li Chang used to be the palace master of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. No one would believe that he didn't have any trump cards. Mo Qingyun said to himself. Without further ado, he turned to look for Lu Yanghu and the others. Not long after, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Lu Yanghu and the others and said in a low voice, "Since this place is no longer safe, everyone leave with me." "All right." Lu Yanghu and the others nodded and left with Mo Qingyun. As for the original members of this family, Mo Qingyun gave them some cultivation resources and let them fend for themselves. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, giving them some cultivation resources was the biggest favor he could give them. "Brother Mo, where are we going now?" Coming out of the small family, Lu Yanghu looked at Mo Qingyun with a blank expression and asked him about his next plans. Now in Yongnan Immortal Domain, they were rootless duckweeds. They could only follow Mo Qingyun's arrangements. The 3 immortal domains are now occupied by the Dark Demon race. You can't stay here any longer. Considering Lu Yanghu and the others' identities as members of the divine race, it was obviously very unsafe for them to stay in Yongnan Immortal Domain. Therefore, he had to take them out of Yongnan Immortal Domain and into the divine race's territory. "I've decided to take you to the divine race's territory." After some consideration, Mo Qingyun spoke his mind. He planned to go to the divine race's territory. First, he wanted to help Lu Yanghu and the others settle down. Second, he wanted to accompany Xie to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. The former divine race's territory? Hearing Mo Qingyun's idea, Lu Yanghu and the others were shocked. They were very surprised by Mo Qingyun's plan. Although they knew that Mo Qingyun was a member of the divine race, they were still very surprised that Mo Qingyun wanted to go to the divine race's territory. "Captain Lu, you are more familiar with the divine race's territory than I am. You will lead the way." Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated after he told Lu Yanghu his thoughts. He immediately instructed Lu Yanghu. Knowing Mo Qingyun's intention, Lu Yanghu did not refuse and immediately led the way. Then, under Lu Yanghu's lead, everyone headed towards the divine race's territory. Because Chu Yunyun and Guei Yu were members of the immortal race, to avoid unnecessary trouble. On the way to the divine race, Mo Qinyun sent Guei Yu and Xiao Xiao into the Five Directions Pagoda. After sending the two girls into the Five Directions Pagoda, Mo Qinyun went to look for Mo and the others to check on their cultivation progress. What surprised Mo Qinyun was that Mo and the others had broken through to the true immortal realm and were not far away from the lesser star realm. Everyone's cultivation has reached the true immortal realm. Looks like I have to think of a way to gather incense. In order to break through to the lesser star realm, one needed the help of incense to condense their star realm. Mo Qinyun had to prepare for this in advance. Otherwise, Mo and the others would not have incense and their cultivation would be stagnant. More importantly, Mo Qinyun's sovereign star realm was not complete yet. He also needed a large amount of incense. It seems that collecting incense is imminent. Understanding his current situation, Mo Qinyun could not help but sigh. He felt a strong pressure. Mo Qinyun entered the Five Directions Pagoda and chatted with Mo and the others for a while before leaving the Five Directions Pagoda. After witnessing Mo Qinyun's powerful means and seeing Mo Qinyun enter the Five Directions Pagoda, Lu Yanghu and the others were relieved. In the following days, Mo Qinyun and the others hurried on as time passed by. After Li Chang escaped from Mo Qinyun's pursuit, he rushed all the way to meet up with the others. After flying for about a day, Li Chang arrived at the nearest stronghold and saw the people from the East Dawn Immortal Palace and the other major forces. Palace Master Li Chang, what happened to you? Could it be that you are being chased by an enemy? Palace Master, could it be that you have offended a golden immortal realm expert? Did you make him unhappy? In my opinion, I'm afraid that Palace Master Li Chang was not willing to be restrained and was punished for offending the lords. Seeing Li Chang's sorry state, everyone had their own thoughts and guessed the possibility. Hearing everyone's words, Li Chang's face darkened. He gritted his teeth and said in a gloomy tone, I was ambushed by that kid Mo Qinyun. He used dozens of large star position ghosts to bombard me. I was injured by the aftershock of the large star position ghost's self-destruction. Mo Qinyun? The guy who killed the Genius Juniors? This kid can control large star position ghosts. No wonder he could kill our Genius Juniors. Palace Master Li Chang, since you met that kid, why didn't you capture him? That's right. That kid killed so many of our juniors. How could you let him go? Palace Master Li Chang, you didn't accept that kid's benefits and deliberately let him go, did you? Everyone was doubtful. They did not believe that with Li Chang's powerful strength, Mo Qinyun could escape from his hands. Hearing the words of the surrounding people, Li Chang's face instantly turned ugly. An unknown anger rose in his heart. Chapter 1483. What do you mean by that? Are you suspecting that our palace master let Mo Qinyun go on purpose? An elder from the East Dawn Immortal Palace scolded the crowd unhappily when he heard the crowd's words. Hearing the elder's words, the crowd looked at each other and realized that they had gone overboard. However, when they remembered that Li Chang was no longer the palace master of the East Dawn Immortal Palace, they no longer had any concerns. It's hard to predict the hearts of people in this world. It's hard to guarantee that Palace Master Li Chang won't betray our Lord. An elder with a full beard glanced at Li Chang with disdain and replied unhappily, Li Chang, you're no longer the Palace Master of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Your status is the same as ours. You're just an errand boy for our Lord. There's no need to put on a high and mighty attitude. Hearing the elder's words, the crowd's expression changed and their fear of Li Chang lessened. That's right. Now that everyone's status was the same, why should they be afraid of Li Chang? Seeing the crowd's reaction, Li Chang's expression immediately turned ugly, and a murderous intent rose in his heart. These guys were too arrogant and condescending. Back when he was still the palace master of the East Dawn Immortal Palace, these people dared not speak to him like that. You're courting death. When Li Chang's murderous intent rose in his heart, the elders beside him immediately shouted at the elder. Looking at the elder's postures, it seemed that they were going to attack the elder and teach him a lesson for offending Li Chang. Seeing the actions of the elders, the crowd's expression immediately darkened and they quickly huddled together to resist. What? Do you want to fight? We have so many people, and we're not afraid of you. That's right. You still think you're the palace master of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Now you're just like me, a dog under our lord. Li Chang, your East Dawn Immortal Palace has bullied us for so long. You didn't expect this day to come, did you? Everyone had a smug look on their faces as they spoke disdainfully, showing their dissatisfaction with Li Chang. Seeing the crowd's behavior, the people from the East Dawn Immortal Palace were about to explode in anger. However, they did not dare to act rashly. These people in front of him were not weak, and when they joined forces, they were even more frightening. With the combat strength of the few people from the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace, they wouldn't be able to gain the slightest advantage if they rashly fought with these people. Patriarch Yu Heng, Sect Master Qing Yuan, since the two of you are so powerful, why don't you personally deal with Mo Qingyun? Li Chang forcefully suppressed the anger in his heart. He looked coldly at the people in front of him and mocked them. Hearing Li Chang's mocking words, the old Yu Heng family head sneered and said arrogantly, Li Chang, this kind of childish provocation is useless against this old man. However, even if you don't provoke us, we will still take the initiative to attack Mo Qingyun. Li Chang, tell us where Mo Qingyun is. We'll deal with him personally. After the words of the Yu Heng family head, Sect Master Qing Yuan ordered Li Chang to report Mo Qingyun's whereabouts. Seeing the actions of the Yu Heng family head and the others, Li Chang smiled coldly and said, I left a soul imprint on the person beside Mo Qingyun. Through the connection of the soul imprint, I can easily find Mo Qingyun's location. I couldn't tell that you had a backup plan. Hearing Li Chang's reply, everyone was shocked. They were a little surprised that Li Chang had a backup plan. Under everyone's gaze, Li Chang stood up and said to the crowd, in order to prevent Mo Qingyun from escaping too far, let's set off now. After Li Chang finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and walked out of the camp. Seeing Li Chang's actions, the Yu Heng family head and the others were stunned. They did not expect Li Chang to be so straightforward. There must be something fishy going on. Li Chang's current behavior made them suspicious. Could it be that Li Chang was plotting something? Why? Are you afraid? Seeing that the crowd did not move, Li Chang had a sarcastic look on his face and asked the crowd in return. After being mocked by Li Chang, the crowd's expression changed and they followed Li Chang out of the camp. Then, under Li Chang's lead, the crowd chased after Mo Qingyun and the others. On the way to the God tribe, Mo Qingyun entered the 5 Directions small tower to cultivate to save time. However, in order to prevent Lu Yanghu and the others from getting into trouble, he let Mo Zai follow them. Recently, because of some trivial matters, my cultivation has been delayed. I have to make the best use of my time to cultivate. Recalling the recent events, Mo Qingyun's expression was grave as he considered the direction of his cultivation. My current cultivation direction can start from the 4 Great Legacies and the 9 Revolutions Divine Demon Change. Thinking of the cultivation manuals and legacies that he had obtained, Mo Qingyun summarized them and considered which one to cultivate first. The 4 Great Legacies are very difficult to comprehend. In comparison, the 9 Revolutions Divine Demon Change is easier. After comparing the 4 Great Legacies and the 9 Revolutions Divine Demon Change, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of his cultivation direction. I've already mastered the first level of the 9 Revolutions Divine Demon Change, the God of War transformation. It's time to try the second level. I wonder what the second level of the 9 revolutions divine demon change will be like. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun's face lit up with anticipation as he began to comprehend the second level of the 9 revolutions divine demon change. Under Mo Qingyun's comprehension, the original seal of the second level of the 9 revolutions divine demon change gradually appeared before Mo Qingyun's eyes. The second level of the 9 revolutions divine demon change, the mad demon change, using the supreme demon heart to summon an ancient demon god to possess the body of a demon god. In a fit of rage, the heavens and the earth trembled under Mo Qingyun's observation. The chant for the second level of the 9 revolutions divine demon change appeared before his eyes one by one. Transforming into a demon god's body seems to be a method similar to the god of war transformation. I wonder how much it will increase my strength. After reading the chant for the mad demon change, Mo Qingyun's heart was filled with anticipation as he immediately began to cultivate the mad demon change. Immediately, Mo Qingyun activated the heavenly soul demon bloodline in his body and began to cultivate the second level of the 9 revolutions divine demon change. Instantly, a monstrous demonic aura erupted from Mo Qingyun's body and enveloped the entire second floor of the 5 Directions Pagoda. The appearance of this demonic aura caused Chu Yunyun and the others in the 5 Directions Pagoda to reveal expressions of fear. What a powerful demonic aura! The young lord's heavenly soul demon bloodline is getting stronger and stronger. What kind of spell is Qingyun cultivating? How can it emit such a terrifying demonic aura? If nothing unexpected happens, when Qingyun successfully cultivates this spell, his strength will definitely increase greatly. Everyone was shocked when they sensed Mo Qingyun's condition, and they all sighed with emotion. Chapter 1484. As the heavenly soul demon bloodline was activated, a monstrous demonic aura began to condense around Mo Qingyun's body. The moment this monstrous demonic aura appeared, it condensed into a huge demonic shadow that overlapped with Mo Qingyun's body. When Mo Qingyun and the demonic shadow overlapped, his body began to expand, and he felt a tearing pain. Feeling the pain from his body, Mo Qingyun frowned and gritted his teeth. As Mo Qingyun endured the pain, his body grew larger and larger. In the blink of an eye, he was dozens of feet tall. God of war transformation! Blood rage! While Mo Qingyun was enduring the pain, the god of war transformation and blood rage began to circulate in his body. Immediately after, Mo Qingyun's aura began to rise rapidly. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun's expression changed to one of shock and disbelief. This mad demon change is so domineering. It can actually trigger the activation of my mystique. If that's the case, the power of the mad demon change is equivalent to the god of war transformation and blood chi berserk. After a short while, the demonic aura around Mo Qingyun's body formed a black armor that covered the surface of his body. From afar, Mo Qingyun's demonic armor was surrounded by demonic chi, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. He was like a powerful demonic god of war. My cultivation has reached the pinnacle of the star accumulation realm. Sensing the change in his aura, Mo Qingyun's expression lit up, and he became extremely excited. Not only did the mad demon transformation combine the god of war transformation and blood rage, but it also strengthened this ability significantly. Bang! Just as Mo Qingyun was overjoyed, the black armor on his body suddenly dissipated, and his aura began to weaken rapidly. The mad demon transformation's duration had ended. After realizing this, Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed slightly, and he said with a bewildered expression, "Based on the current situation, I can only maintain the mad demon transformation for about 10 breaths of time. Looks like I need to continue practicing it." After withdrawing from the mad demon transformation, Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly, and he continued to practice the mad demon transformation. Mo Qingyun spent the rest of the time practicing the mad demon transformation. In the blink of an eye, 5 days later. Brother Mo, after crossing the Longquan River, we will enter the territory of the god race. Looking at the vast and boundless river in front of them, Lu Yanghu described their current location. Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, Mo Zai's expression changed and she said, "Is the territory of the god race's territory?" This was the first time they had been in the territory of the god race. Swish swish, while Lu Yanghu and the others were talking, several figures flew over at an extremely fast speed, emitting a shocking aura. "You guys escaped really quickly. You almost entered the territory of the god race." When these people arrived in front of Lu Yanghu's group, they were all grinning, and their eyes were filled with mockery. Seeing these people appear, Lu Yanghu's expression immediately trembled, and his face turned pale. The leader of these people was Li Chang, who had escaped not long ago. Who would have thought that after not seeing each other for a few days, Li Chang had actually found a group of helpers to seek revenge on Mo Qingyun. More importantly, among Li Chang's helpers, there were powerhouses from 3 constellations. In addition to Li Chang, there would be a total of 4 cultivators from the constellations. What a powerful lineup this was! 4 constellation experts. This time, it's going to be troublesome. Knowing the strength of Li Chang's group, Mo Zai frowned and sighed inwardly. I wonder how my cultivation is going. From the looks of the current situation, I have no choice but to take action. Mo Zai's heart sank for a moment, and she no longer hesitated, immediately sending a message to Mo Qingyun. Inside the 5 directional towers. 4 constellation experts. This Li Chang really thinks highly of me. Hearing Mo Zai's message, Mo Qingyun frowned, and a cold smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. That's good too. It's a good opportunity to test the battle strength of the mad demon change. After thinking about this, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and he left the 5 directional towers. When Mo Qingyun left the 5 directional towers, he also told Lu Yanghu and the others to send them into the 5 directional towers. Now that Li Chang's lineup was too strong, Mo Qingyun could not guarantee that he could take care of Lu Yanghu and the others in the battle. Therefore, it was better to send them into the 5 directional towers to prevent them from being affected by the aftershocks of the battle. Soon, Mo Qingyun stood in the air, facing off against Li Chang and the others. Mo Qingyun, I underestimated you again. You actually have a spatial treasure. Seeing Mo Qingyun send Lu Yanghu and the others away, Li Chang revealed a shocked expression. He was very surprised that Lu Yanghu and the others disappeared. In Li Chang's opinion, if Mo Qingyun did not have a spatial treasure, how could he make Lu Yanghu and the others disappear? There are still many areas where you underestimate me. Hearing Li Chang's shocked words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He looked at Li Chang with a mocking gaze and said, "Palace Master Li Chang, as someone who lost to me, was the lesson I taught you last time not enough?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Li Chang's face twitched, and his expression became extremely ugly. Mo Qingyun actually humiliated him in front of everyone. This was unforgivable. Today, he must kill Mo Qingyun. Seeing Mo Qingyun mocking Li Chang, Yu Heng and the others sneered and gloated in their hearts. The former palace master of the East Dawn Immortal Palace was humiliated by an immortal infant stage junior. This was a very interesting thing. Facing so many of us, this brat is still able to maintain his composure. His guts are not small. This kid is only at the immortal infant stage. Li Chang can't even deal with him. This is too disappointing. No wonder the East Dawn Immortal Palace was destroyed. It turns out that they had such a palace master. Sensing Mo Qingyun's cultivation, everyone laughed at Li Chang again. Li Chang was so angry that his face turned green and white. "Patriarch Yu Heng, didn't you say that you wanted to take down Mo Qingyun personally?" Forcefully suppressing the anger in his heart, Li Chang provoked Yu Heng and signaled for him to take the lead. He was very clear about the explosive power of Mo Qingyun's ghost. It was good to let Yu Heng and the others suffer a little. When Emo Qingyun's ghosts were almost exhausted, it wouldn't be too late for him to take action. If things didn't go well, Emo Qingyun and the others would both be injured, and he could wipe them all out. Hearing Li Chang's words, Yu Heng walked out with an unhappy expression. He slowly flew towards Emo Qingyun and said, "Palace Master Li Chang, now you'd better watch carefully and see how this old man will take down this kid." Hearing Yu Heng's words, Li Chang didn't say anything and only revealed a playful smile. If Emo Qingyun was so easy to deal with, he wouldn't have fallen into the hands of Emo Qingyun last time. Chapter 1485. Old man, I can't believe that you're still as stupid as a pig even though you've lived for so long. Emo Qingyun sneered and mocked Patriarch Yu Heng. He looked at Li Chang behind him and said, "Li Chang's cultivation base is at the half-step golden celestial stage, but he was beaten like a dead dog by me. Do you think that you're a match for me with your cultivation base at the early stage of the constellation realm? Emo Qingyun, don't be so arrogant. I was just careless the last time." Li Chang's face darkened when he heard Emo Qingyun's mocking words. He tried to defend himself. However, everyone could tell that his tone was a little guilty. Clearly, his defeat at Emo Qingyun's hands last time was not as he had described. Li Chang is Li Chang and I am me. He can't take you down, but that doesn't mean that I can't. Patriarch Yu Heng's face darkened when he heard Emo Qingyun's disdain. He retorted unhappily. Similarly, when he refuted Emo Qingyun, his tone didn't have much confidence. It seemed like he was not confident that he could defeat Emo Qingyun. He just did not want to admit it because of his pride. Haha, is that so? Emo Qingyun was not in a hurry to attack. He glanced at Li Chang and the others and sneered, "Old man, you're so confident. I'm sure you're thinking about letting the others find a chance to attack me, right?" Yu Heng's face changed when he heard Emo Qingyun's words. It was as if his thoughts had been seen through. It was undeniable that he did have such thoughts. He was thinking about joining forces with the others to deal with Emo Qingyun alone. I'm enough to deal with a brat at the immortal infant stage like you. Yu Heng quibbled when he saw that his thoughts had been seen through. He began to attack Emo Qingyun. Immortal art, evergreen sword blade. Patriarch Yu Heng took out a black iron sword and slashed it at Emo Qingyun. A green sword ray shot out. As soon as the cyan sword light appeared, it emitted a sharp aura, causing the surrounding space to crack. A cyan region was formed in the cracked space, giving people the feeling that a sword was devouring the heavens and earth. It was as if everything in front of this green sword ray would be blasted into smithereens. Seeing Patriarch Yu Heng's sword, the expressions of Li Chang and the others changed greatly. Their eyes revealed intense fear. That's an ancient mid-grade immortal technique. Patriarch Yu Heng actually cultivated such an immortal technique. No wonder Yu Heng dared to go head-to-head with Li Chang. The lethality of his sword is comparable to the attack of a golden immortal. Even if Emo Qingyun has the Joss Flame golden body, he will still be defeated by Patriarch Yu Heng's sword. Seeing the power of Yu Heng's sword, Qin Yuan and the others were shocked. They felt reverence for Yu Heng. What a powerful sword! In the face of Yu Heng's sword, Emo Qingyun's expression changed greatly. He did not dare to take it head-on. While Emo Qingyun was still in shock, Yu Heng's sword had already arrived in front of him. Seeing this, Emo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately turned to dodge. What Emo Qingyun didn't expect was that when he turned around and was about to dodge, he was restrained by a force. Yu Heng's sword contains the power of a confinement domain. Under the cyan sword ray, Emo Qingyun was shocked. He was trying to think of a way to avoid the situation in front of him. Seeing the shock on Emo Qingyun's face, Yu Heng sneered and said smugly, "Boy, this celestial technique of mine will form the everlasting azure domain. Now that you are trapped in the everlasting azure domain, You should obediently accept your death. Domain? Emo Qingyun frowned. He immediately thought of a way to resolve the situation and quickly formed a hand seal. Door of Domain. Under Emo Qingyun's attack, a flashing door of light quickly formed in the air above him. Wherever the light of the door shone, a strange force was produced that resisted the power of the everlasting azure domain. Immediately, the confinement power of the everlasting green domain was reduced to the minimum. Without the restraint of the everlasting green domain, Emo Qingyun immediately moved and dodged the attack of the green sword radiance. He avoided it? Yu Heng and the others were shocked that Emo Qingyun had avoided the cyan sword ray. They were very surprised by this outcome. Facing the attack of Yu Heng, who was a constellation cultivator, Emo Qingyun's ability to escape unscathed with his immortal infant stage cultivation was admirable. The boy's superpower just now seems to be able to give birth to a domain. With his immortal infant stage cultivation, he successfully avoided Yu Heng's all-out attack. This boy should be proud of himself. Emo Qingyun is too monstrous. I didn't expect him to have such a skill. It seems that he did not use his full strength in the last fight. Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, Li Chang and the others were shocked. Once again, they had a new understanding of Emo Qingyun. A superpower that contains the power of a domain? Yu Heng's expression was also greatly alarmed when he saw Emo Qingyun actually evade his full power sword strike. This situation was far too different from what he had imagined. To put it inappropriately, the immortal technique he had used just now was suspicious of him giving a cold shoulder. After all, Emo Qingyun did not know that his immortal technique contained the power of a domain. Come out. While Yu Heng and the others were still in shock, Emo Qingyun didn't dare to hesitate any longer and immediately summoned the Constellation Ghost. Door of Fusion. After summoning the Constellation Ghost, Emo Qingyun did not stop and immediately fused with the Constellation Ghost. Then, Emo Qingyun and the Constellation Ghost fused together under everyone's shocked gazes. As Emo Qingyun fused with the Constellation Ghost, the aura he exuded continued to rise. In the blink of an eye, Emo Qingyun's aura had reached the Constellation Ghost's level. Constellation Ghost. What kind of superpower is this? How can it raise his cultivation by so much? No wonder Li Chang was defeated by this kid last time. This kid is too monstrous. Sensing the change in Emo Qingyun's aura, Qin Yuan and the others widened their eyes in shock. They understood why Li Chang had been defeated. With Emo Qingyun's current strength, if Li Chang was not careful, it would be easy for him to be at a disadvantage. Old man, since you're done, take my punch. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Emo Qingyun's expression was cold as he threw a punch at Patriarch Yu Heng. Sky Soul Sealing Fist. Instantly, a terrifying surge of immortal spiritual force erupted from Emo Qingyun's fist. When this immortal spiritual force erupted, it transformed into a huge fist shadow that came crashing down from above Yu Heng. Kid, even if you have the cultivation of a constellation ghost, you can't do anything to me. In the face of Emo Qingyun's punch, Yu Heng's expression was cold as he shouted in a sinister voice. As soon as Yu Heng finished speaking, he swung his sword into the air and slashed out an imposing sword light. The sword light and the fist shadow collided and passed through each other without causing any damage. Following that, the crowd saw the domineering fist light land directly on Yu Heng. Chapter 1486. Yu Heng, who was in the early stage of the constellation realm, could not block Emo Qingyun's sword. Qin Yuan and the rest were shocked when they saw this. They could not believe it. This was too illogical. Boom! The heavenly soul sealing fist hit Yu Heng. There was an earth-shattering sound and a powerful sealing force was generated. Under this sealing power, Yu Heng immediately felt his body sink, and he was unable to move an inch in the surroundings. How could this be? Seeing that he couldn't move his body, Yu Heng's expression changed drastically, revealing a panicked expression. This punch of Mo Qingyun's actually contained a terrifying sealing power. In the short exchange just now, he realized that the more he fought with Mo Qingyun, the more he realized how strange Mo Qingyun was. The sealed door. After sealing Yu Heng's mobility with one punch, Mo Qingyun did not stop attacking. Instead, he pointed at Yu Heng again. As Mo Qingyun pointed his finger, a miniature version of the light door rapidly formed on his finger. After the sealing gate was formed, it turned into a stream of light and shot towards Yu Heng at an extremely fast speed. As Yu Heng's movement was restricted by the Heavenly Soul sealing fist, he could not dodge the attack of the sealed door. Following that, the crowd watched as the sealed door slammed into Yu Heng's body. This super power again! Seeing Mo Qingyun's move, Li Chang's pupils shrank, and a terrified expression appeared on his face. He had a deep understanding of the power of the sealed gate. It was mysterious and powerful. Puff! After being hit by the sealed door, Yu Heng's face turned pale and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Then, the aura that Yu Heng exuded weakened in a straight line. In a short while, Yu Heng's cultivation fell from the constellation realm to the early stage of the major constellation realm. My cultivation. When he realized that his cultivation had fallen, Yu Heng was so scared that his face turned pale and his body trembled. Just now, he was not Mo Qingyun's match with his constellation realm cultivation, let alone now that his cultivation had fallen. This situation was simply too frightening for him. Golden Snake Flashing Halberd. After using the sealing gate to seal Yu Heng's cultivation, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and disappeared from everyone's perception. Mo Qingyun had disappeared. Noticing that Mo Qingyun had suddenly disappeared, the faces of Li Chang and the others immediately changed, and their expressions became tense as if they were facing a great enemy. Mo Qingyun's method was too strange. They had to be careful to avoid being ambushed by Mo Qingyun. Bang! Just as Li Chang and the others were panicking, they saw the sealed Yu Heng's head explode from a domineering blow. When Yu Heng's head exploded, he didn't even have the time to call for help before Mo Qingyun's halberd destroyed his soul. Yu Heng was dead. Seeing Yu Heng killed by Mo Qingyun, Li Chang and the others' expressions changed greatly, unable to accept this reality for a long time. Yu Heng, who had a cultivation base at the constellation level, had actually been killed in an instant by Mo Qingyun. Their cultivation was not much different from Yu Heng's, and some of them were even weaker than Yu Heng, only at the peak of the major constellation realm. If that was the case, wouldn't it be difficult for them to escape death when faced with Mo Qingyun's attack? When they thought of this, Qin Yuan and the others' faces turned pale, and they couldn't help but feel terrified. Could it be that they would end up like Yu Heng, dying at the hands of Mo Qingyun today? Everyone, this kid is too strange. Let's work together to kill him. That's right. Yu Heng died because he was too arrogant. If we don't work together, we might be killed one by this kid. Palace Master Li Chang, you're the strongest among us. You'll take the lead, and we'll support you from the side. Humph! Patriarch Qin Yuan, didn't you say that you wanted to deal with Mo Qingyun yourselves? Li Chang and the others argued for a while, then came to an agreement to work together to deal with Mo Qingyun. Looking at Mo Qingyun, who each had their own agenda, Mo Qingyun looked at them with disdain and said coldly, "You're just a motley crew. Even if you work together, I'll still kill all of you today. Come out." Mo Qingyun said mockingly, then summoned all the ghosts to deal with Li Chang and the others. Not long after, several shocking auras appeared around Li Chang and the others. Ghosts. Seeing the ghosts around them, Li Chang's expression immediately trembled, and a chill ran down his spine. He still remembered the scene of him being bombarded by ghosts when he fought with Mo Qingyun a few days ago. Seeing the large number of ghosts, Qin Yuan and the others had a similar reaction as Li Chang. These are all ghosts. How can there be so many of them? These ghosts are so strong. Even the weakest one is at the lesser star realm. Where did he summon these ghosts from? This is not good. We underestimated Mo Qingyun's strength this time. Capture the leader first. If we want to deal with these ghosts, we have to capture Mo Qingyun first. After a brief moment of panic, Qin Yuan and the others had a plan. They knew that they had to capture Mo Qingyun first. Kill. Mo Qingyun summoned the ghost. Without hesitation, he ordered the ghosts to attack Li Chang and the others. Knowing that it was Mo Qingyun's order, the ghosts charged at Li Chang and the others, instantly blocking their path. Retreat with me. Li Chang had the experience of being at a disadvantage. Seeing the ghosts closing in on him, he immediately retreated with the elders of the East Dawn Immortal Palace. Soon, Li Chang and the elders of the East Dawn Immortal Palace pulled away from Qin Yuan and the others. He did not care if Qin Yuan and the others lived or died. It would be best if Qin Yuan and the others died here. Explode. When Li Chang pulled away from Qin Yuan and the others, Mo Qingyun ordered the ghosts near Qin Yuan to self-detonate and attack Qin Yuan and the others. Boom. 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 Under Mo Qingyun's command, the ghosts self-detonated one by one, creating a terrifying storm of spiritual energy. Enveloped by the storm of spiritual energy, Qin Yuan and the others were immediately engulfed and attacked by the storm of spiritual energy. My hand, my arm has been destroyed. Mo Qingyun, are you crazy? You actually ordered the ghosts to self-detonate. Mo Qingyun, I beg you, please don't kill me. I'm willing to submit to you. Under the impact of the storm of spiritual energy, Qin Yuan and the others immediately screamed and uttered words of terror. They knew very well in their hearts that from the situation before them, they had been utterly defeated this time. However, Mo Qingyun chose to ignore their pleas. He said coldly, "Since you wanted to kill me, you should have been prepared to be killed. If I had fallen into your hands today, I'm afraid that my fate would have been even more miserable." Mo Qingyun replied coldly. He looked at Li Chang and said mockingly, "When you came with Li Chang, didn't Li Chang mention some of my techniques?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Qin Yuan and the others' expressions changed. They realized the crux of the matter. Chapter 1487. Li Chang, you despicable man! How dare you set us up? Li Chang, you and I are irreconcilable enemies. Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Everyone, follow me and stop Li Chang and the rest. Don't let them escape. That's right. Even if we die here today, we'll drag Li Chang and the rest down with us. Qin Yuan and the rest were not fools. After Mo Qingyun's advice, they immediately realized that they had been tricked. Seeing Qin Yuan and the rest's reaction, Mo Qingyun did not continue to attack them and allowed them to seek revenge on Li Chang. Soon, Qin Yuan and the rest broke through the spiritual energy storm and chased after Li Chang and the rest. Demonic shadow traceless. Lightning wind path. When Qin Yuan and the rest chased after Li Chang and the rest, Mo Qingyun did not just stand by and watch. Instead, he quickly followed. He had let Li Chang escape last time. This time, he would not let the same thing happen again. Soon, Li Chang and the rest were blocked by Mo Qingyun and the rest. Seeing that their path was blocked, Li Chang immediately panicked and said guiltily, "Sect Master Qin Yuan, what is the meaning of this? Are you going to kill each other?" Kill each other? Hearing Li Chang's question, Qin Yuan retorted in disdain. He sneered and said, "Li Chang, we are not on the same side as you. Killing each other is not accurate. You bunch of idiots! Even if you kill us, you won't be able to escape." After knowing Qin Yuan and the rest's plan, Li Chang's face darkened and he shouted angrily at Qin Yuan and the rest. He did not expect that Qin Yuan and the rest would fall for Mo Qingyun's instigation. Sealed door. While Li Chang and the rest were talking, Mo Qingyun immediately attacked Li Chang and the rest to prevent any more unforeseen event. Soon, a mini glowing door formed in front of Mo Qingyun. This super power again! Seeing the sealed door in front of Mo Qingyun, Li Chang was so frightened that his expression trembled, and his face turned pale. Li Chang already had an instinctive fear of the sealed door. Then, under Li Chang's horrified gaze, the sealed door flew towards him at an extremely fast speed. Quick! Retreat! Seeing the sealing gate blasting towards him, Li Chang used a panicked tone to warn the people around him. While Li Chang was speaking, he didn't dare to hesitate and immediately dodged the attacks of the sealed gate. On top of that, Li Chang even dragged an elder of the East Dawn Immortal Palace to him when he was dodging the sealed door. Following that, this elder from the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace replaced Li Chang and received the attack of the sealed gate. Puff! The elder from the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace turned pale and spat out a large mouthful of blood after being hit by the sealed door. Following that, the aura emitted by that elder rapidly weakened. Asgard Master Yu, seeing his situation, the elder looked at Li Chang in disbelief. He didn't expect Li Chang to use him as a scapegoat. He had always been loyal to Li Chang, even when the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace was destroyed. However, he didn't expect Li Chang to use him as a meat shield to block Mo Qingyun's powerful attack. Li Chang's actions made him feel bitterly disappointed. Faced with this elder's question, Li Chang's eyes flickered. He replied with a guilty tone, "Elder Lu, if I can escape alive today, I will definitely not forget your kindness. I will definitely take good care of your descendants." Li Chang, are you an idiot or do you think others are idiots? Hearing Li Chang's words, Mo Qingyun showed a disdainful expression and mocked. This elder is loyal to you. If you can treat him like this, what about his descendants? Hearing Mo Qingyun's mockery, Li Chang immediately panicked, as if his scheme had been exposed. Mo Qingyun, don't talk nonsense and drive a wedge between us. Li Chang's words were flustered and his eyes flickered. He retorted with a guilty expression. Everyone knows whether I'm talking nonsense or not. It's not the first time you've betrayed your friends to survive. Mo Qingyun replied indifferently to Li Chang's defense. He continued, in my opinion, if this elder's descendants fall into your hands, they will probably be discarded as chess pieces. Hearing Mo Qingyun's analysis, not only did Qin Yuan and the others show disdain, but even the elders of the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace showed disgust. Judging from the current situation, Mo Qingyun's attempt to drive a wedge between them had succeeded. Everyone, Li Chang is despicable and shameless. We can't be soft-hearted. That's right. If Li Chang hadn't schemed against us, we wouldn't have ended up like this. Everyone, let's kill Li Chang together. Even if we die today, let's drag him down with us. Seeing the behavior of the elders of the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace, Qin Yuan and the others added fuel to the fire and tempted them to attack Li Chang together. After a while, under Qin Yuan's instigation, the elders of the Eastern Dawn Immortal Palace finally betrayed them. Soon after, these people joined forces to deal with Li Chang. You bunch of idiots! Seeing the actions of Qin Yuan and the others, Li Chang's face was filled with madness. He roared at the crowd, "You bunch of idiots! Our enemy is Mo Qingyun. You're asking a tiger for its skin. You'll die a horrible death." Although Li Chang's words were true, Qin Yuan and the others were blinded by anger. How could they listen to him? Li Chang, now that there's no one else to block the attack for you, let's see how you're going to block the sealed door. Seeing the actions of Qin Yuan and the others, Mo Qingyun sneered and attacked Li Chang again. Soon, a sealed door formed in front of Mo Qingyun and turned into a ray of light that shot towards Li Chang. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had attacked Li Chang, Qin Yuan and the others immediately retreated to avoid being used as a shield by Li Chang again. Seeing the actions of Qin Yuan and the others, Li Chang's face was filled with malevolence as he glared at them. With no one else to replace Li Chang, even though Li Chang tried his best to dodge, he was still hit by the sealed door. Poof! After being hit by the sealed door again, Li Chang immediately spat out blood and his aura started to decline rapidly. Soon, Li Chang's cultivation fell from the half-step to true immortal realm to the early stage of constellation realm. Li Chang, now that your cultivation is also at the early stage of constellation realm, let's see how we're going to kill you. Sensing the change in Li Chang's aura, Qin Yuan and the others smiled grimly and quickly approached Li Chang. Soon, Li Chang was surrounded by Qin Yuan and the others and was in a situation where he was attacked from both sides. Seeing the dogfight between Li Chang and the others, Mo Qinyun did not rush to attack. Instead, he slowly set up a formation at the side. Since he wanted to keep Li Chang and the others here, he had to be fully prepared to prevent any of them from escaping. Therefore, it was very necessary to set up a trapping formation around the battlefield where Li Chang and the others were fighting. Chapter 1488. Time passed slowly as Mo Qinyun set up the array. While Mo Qinyun was setting up the formation, the situation of Li Chang and the others fighting could be said to be earth-shaking. In the battle between the two sides, although Li Chang was alone, he still had the upper hand. I didn't expect Li Chang to have the upper hand under such circumstances. No wonder people say that a starving camel is still bigger than a horse. Looking at the situation of Li Chang and the rest, Mo Qinyun could not help but sigh. He was glad that he had not forced Li Chang into a life-and-death struggle. The strength of a half-step to Golden Celestial Realm expert should not be underestimated. Otherwise, even if he had killed Li Chang previously, he would have had to pay a heavy price. Of course, although Li Chang had the upper hand now, he had also paid a heavy price. Li Chang's clothes were tattered and he looked miserable. His aura was weak, and it was obvious that he was at the end of his rope. As for Qin Yuan and the rest, they were in a worse state than Li Chang and their injuries were more serious. Some of them even had their limbs chopped off by Li Chang in a domineering manner. It seems that it's my turn to strike. After glancing at Li Chang and the others, Mo Qinyun revealed a playful smile and waved at the ghosts at the side. Since both sides had suffered heavy losses, it was time for him, the fisherman, to take action. After receiving Mo Qinyun's order, the ghosts did not dare to hesitate. They immediately charged toward Li Chang and the rest. Seeing the ghosts charging toward them, Li Chang was so frightened that his face turned pale. He shouted at Qin Yuan and the rest, "You are all fools. Now that both sides have suffered heavy losses, Mo Qinyun is going to reap the benefits." Seeing the large group of ghosts charging toward them, Qin Yuan and the rest trembled. They were afraid of the ghosts. With so many terrifyingly powerful ghosts, it was not something that they could contend with at the moment. Immediately, the strength of Qin Yuan and the rest's attacks on Li Chang decreased significantly. As the strength of Qin Yuan and the rest's attacks had decreased, Li Chang immediately got rid of them and quickly escaped. Buzz. However, before Li Chang could escape far, a colorful light screen appeared in front of him. Array? Mo Qinyun set up a formation around the area? Seeing this scene, Li Chang was so angry that his face trembled, and his heart was filled with extreme anger. It was all because of these idiots that Mo Qinyun had the chance to set up the formation, destroying his last hope of escaping. Li Chang, you should just give up. You won't be able to escape today. Seeing that Li Chang's path was blocked, Qin Yuan and the others revealed complacent sneers, feeling a sense of satisfaction in their hearts. In their opinion, even if they were to die today, it would be worth it if they could drag Li Chang down with them. You idiots! Seeing the reaction of Qin Yuan and the others, Li Chang was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He roared with a ferocious expression, "Mo Qinyun, even if you keep me here today, I won't let you have an easy time." Shadow hunting seal. Knowing that there was no hope for him to escape, Li Chang threw caution to the wind and decided to perish together with Mo Qingyun. Under Li Chang's attack, a strange blood-colored mark quickly formed above him. Seeing that Li Chang had formed the blood-colored mark, Qin Yuan and the others were shocked and looked at Li Chang in disbelief. Li Chang actually formed the shadow hunting seal. It seems like he really intends to perish together with Mo Qingyun. This is the shadow hunting seal of Lord Xian Shao. Even a golden celestial expert can't remove it. Mo Qingyun is doomed. That's right. Lord Xian Shao is a perfected golden celestial expert. He has even killed many perfected golden celestials. Perhaps Lord Xian Shao will recognize Mo Qingyun's talent and recruit Mo Qingyun for his own use. If Mo Qingyun surrenders, we will be on the same side. We won't have to die. Seeing Li Chang's action, Qin Yuan and the others' expressions changed, and their eyes were filled with anticipation. In their opinion, if Xian Shao, a perfected golden celestial expert, made a move, Mo Qingyun would obediently surrender. Li Chang activated the dark shadow hunting seal, and he rapidly aged, instantly turning into an old man on the verge of death. Not only that, but the aura emitted from his body also disappeared in the blink of an eye. In a short while, Li Chang was like an ordinary person, without any spiritual energy fluctuations on his body. From the looks of it, the price Li Chang paid to activate this dark shadow hunting seal could be said to be quite high. It could be seen how much Li Chang hated Mo Qingyun. He was really forced into a desperate situation by Mo Qingyun. The dark shadow hunting seal was activated by Li Chang. It transformed into a blood-red streak of light and shot towards Mo Qingyun at an extremely fast speed. Facing the attack of the shadow hunting seal, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to hesitate and immediately dodged to the side. Buzz! However, just as Mo Qingyun was about to dodge, the shadow hunting seal flashed with a blood-colored light. Then, a blood-colored figure appeared in the shadow hunting seal, exuding an aura that looked down on the world. Under the cover of this aura, Mo Qingyun immediately felt dizzy, and his consciousness was hit by a terrifying force. Being hit by this terrifying force, Mo Qingyun instinctively resisted and activated the bloodline power in his body. Boom boom, under the activation of Mo Qingyun's bloodline power, a terrifying barbaric aura burst out from his body. At this moment, 10 soul stars shone brightly and appeared between Mo Qingyun's eyebrows, exuding a terrifying demonic aura. In addition, the vegetation on some of the mountain ranges near Mo Qingyun instantly grew at an extremely fast speed. Seeing this, Qin Yuan and the others widened their eyes, stunned by Mo Qingyun's performance. This Mo Qingyun has the bloodline of the God Clan, and it's a terrifying bloodline of the God Clan. I didn't expect Mo Qingyun to be of the God Clan. This kid hid it too well. This is strange. When we checked Mo Qingyun in the East Dawn Divine Palace, he didn't have the bloodline of the God Clan. At this moment, Qin Yuan and the others were shocked by Mo Qingyun's identity. While Qin Yuan and the others were shocked, Xian Zhao's projection came out from the shadow hunting seal and said with a shocked expression, "This kid's bloodline of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan has reached the king level. If we use his bloodline as a catalyst, we should be able to create a powerful celestial guard." Other than the bloodline of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan, this kid seems to have an even stronger bloodline. Xian Zhao's projection exclaimed when he discovered the Genesis bloodline in Mo Qingyun's body. He said, "This bloodline doesn't seem to be on the 10,000 Ancient Tribes board, but it's stronger and stranger than any bloodline on the 10,000 Ancient Tribes board. This kid is getting more and more interesting. With this kid's talent, if he grows up, he'll be a threat to the sacred tribe. We can't let him escape." After knowing that Mo Qingyun was not simple, Xian Shao immediately had an answer and decided to capture Mo Qingyun. Then, Xian Shao used the projection's consciousness to control Mo Qingyun's body. Chapter 1489. The Sealed Door. Mo Qingyun roared angrily and unleashed the sealed door to seal the willpower that was eroding his consciousness. Facing the attack of the sealed door, Xian Zhao's willpower was immediately suppressed and weakened by several levels in an instant. What kind of magic is this? It actually has such a powerful sealing power. Realizing that his willpower was sealed, Xian Zhao's projection was shocked and revealed a look of surprise and curiosity. After curiously sizing up Mo Qingyun, Xian Zhao's projection sneered and said in a deep voice, "It seems that this kid has many secrets on him." While Xian Zhao's projection was pondering, his willpower that was eroding Mo Qingyun's consciousness was brutally forced out by Mo Qingyun. After forcing out Xian Zhao's projection, Mo Qingyun regained control of his body. The teleportation door. After regaining control of his body, Mo Qingyun did not dare to hesitate and immediately unleashed the teleportation door. Immediately, a whirlpool-like door of light formed in front of Mo Qingyun. Seeing that the teleportation door had formed, Mo Qingyun's body leaped and quickly rushed into the teleportation door. The moment Mo Qingyun entered the teleportation door rapidly shrank and disappeared in the blink of an eye. He escaped. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had disappeared, Xian Zhao's projection was stunned. He did not expect Mo Qingyun to have such a method of escape. However, he did not show the slightest bit of disappointment that Mo Qingyun had escaped. On the contrary, after seeing Mo Qingyun's magic, his curiosity towards Mo Qingyun became even stronger. Judging from the two divine abilities just now, they should belong to the same type of divine ability. This kid is hiding a big secret. After comparing the sealing gate with the teleportation gate, Xian Zhao immediately came to a conclusion. With a firm and cold expression, he said, "Kid, no matter what your background or identity is, since you have the shadow hunting mark on you, you won't be able to escape from me." Mo Qingyun actually escaped? Seeing Mo Qingyun's figure disappear, Qin Yuan and the others were shocked. They were very surprised by this situation. After all, even the projection of Xian Zhao's willpower was comparable to a golden celestial. With Mo Qingyun's cultivation at the immortal infant stage, he was still able to escape unscathed from the attack of a golden immortal stage expert. This kind of ability was enough to make him proud. This Mo Qingyun really has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Once he matures, he will definitely be extremely terrifying. A person at the immortal infant stage, escaping from a golden immortal stage expert. Mo Qingyun is the first person to do so. If it weren't for this unforeseen event, the Eternal South Immortal Palace would have risen in less than 100 years. Seeing Mo Qingyun's current performance, Qin Yuan and the others were filled with emotion and admiration. They believed that with their cultivation, they would not be able to escape unscathed from Xian Zhao's projection. The ghosts summoned by this kid are still here. I think he might come back to collect them. Looking at the hundreds and thousands of ghosts around him, Xian Zhao's projection sneered and sat down on the ground with his legs crossed. Looking at his current appearance, it seemed like he was going to wait for his prey. Seeing Xian Zhao's projection's action, Qin Yuan and the others did not dare to hesitate and walked to the front of Xian Zhao's projection. Coming to the front of Xian Zhao's projection, Qin Yuan and the others bowed respectfully and sat down beside Xian Zhao's projection. At this moment, while Qin Yuan and the others were waiting, in a forest not far away, Mo Qingyun's figure appeared. His face was filled with lingering fear. Phew! That was close. Mo Qingyun took a deep breath. If he had not acted decisively just now, he might not have been able to escape. After calming down the fear in his heart, Mo Qingyun looked hesitant and said to himself, "I haven't collected those ghosts yet. Should I go back and collect them now? Or should I leave them to fend for themselves?" Thinking of the realm of those ghosts, Mo Qingyun immediately made up his mind and said to himself, "Those ghosts are only at the Great Star realm. They are not very useful to me. There is no need to take the risk to go back and collect them. Mo Qingyun knew very well that he was able to escape from Xian Zhao's projection this time because he was lucky and caught him off guard. Next time, if Xian Zhao's projection was on guard, he would not be so lucky. Mo Qingyun looked around and knew where he was. He said in a low voice, "According to Captain Liu, as long as I pass through the Longquan River in the west, I will be able to enter the God Race's territory." With this thought, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately summoned the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle. After summoning the golden-crowned snake-feathered eagle, Mo Qingyun switched identities with Mo Zai and entered the Five Directions Pagoda to cultivate. After the incident with Xian Zhao, Mo Qingyun deeply understood that his current cultivation was still too low. Realizing that his cultivation was insufficient, Mo Qingyun prepared to seize the time to cultivate and strive to improve his cultivation. After Mo Qingyun entered the Five Directions Pagoda, he first looked for Lu Yonghu and the others to arrange their cultivation problems. "Brother Mo, how is the situation outside? Brother Mo, have you gotten rid of those people?" Seeing Mo Qingyun enter the Five Directions Pagoda, Lu Yonghu and the others were nervous and asked about Mo Qingyun's situation. Hearing Lu Yonghu and the others' questions, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and replied, "Don't worry, I have already gotten rid of those people. Now, you just have to focus on cultivating here. Once we enter the God Race's territory, I will let you leave the Five Directions Pagoda." "Okay." Hearing Mo Qingyun's explanation, Lu Yonghu and the others relaxed and cultivated under Mo Qingyun's arrangement. After settling Lu Yonghu and the others' cultivation, Mo Qingyun went to check on Chu Yunyun and the others' cultivation situation. When Mo Qingyun found Chu Yunyun, he found that her cultivation had also broken through to the true immortal realm. Yunyun's cultivation has also broken through. Seeing that Chu Yunyun's cultivation had broken through, Mo Qingyun's expression turned serious and he sighed inwardly. Everyone's cultivation has broken through to the true immortal realm. It seems that the matter of collecting incense power needs to be sped up again. Mo Qingyun sighed inwardly. He found a place and began to cultivate, allowing his cultivation to advance further. Soon after, immortal stones filled with spiritual energy were placed by Mo Qingyun's side. Devouring Gate. Mo Qingyun took out the immortal stones and used the Devouring Gate to absorb the spiritual energy in the surrounding immortal stones. Under the absorption of the Devouring Gate, strands of spiritual energy were extracted and flew into the Devouring Gate like thin threads. The spiritual energy was converted by the Devouring Gate and transferred into Mo Qingyun's body. Sensing the spiritual energy entering his body, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and began to refine the spiritual energy in his body. As Mo Qingyun refined the spiritual energy, the density of spiritual energy in his body increased at a speed visible to the naked eye. Chapter 1490. If the amount of immortal spiritual energy in Mo Qingyun's body in the past was like a small lake, then the amount of immortal spiritual energy in Mo Qingyun's body now was like a vast ocean. Even though his current cultivation level was still at the immortal infant stage, there was a world of difference compared to before. Half-step true immortal realm. Sensing his current cultivation, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He was very satisfied with the results of this cultivation. Just as Mo Qingyun was about to continue cultivating, Mo Zai sent him a spiritual message. She said in a low voice, "Original body, we have already entered the territory of the God Race." "We have already entered the territory of the God Race?" Hearing Mo Zai's message, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He led Lu Yonghu and the others out of the Five Directions Small Pagoda. Coming out of the Five Directions Small Pagoda, Lu Yonghu and the others were in a daze as they confirmed their location. "Captain Lu, where are we now?" Looking at the dazed expressions of Lu Yanghu and the others, Mo Qingyun asked. He wanted to confirm his current location. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Lu Yanghu pondered for a moment, then said, Brother Mo, we are now near the heavenly mountain range. This is the territory of the Cloud Thunder Devil Tiger tribe. Approximately how far away are we from your tribe? Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and asked Lu Yanghu. Mo Qingyun thought that since it was his first time in the territory of the god race, he should first find a place to settle down. Then, he could slowly explore the territory of the god race. My tribe? Lu Yanghu was stunned. He didn't expect Mo Qingyun to ask about his tribe. After thinking for a while, he said, Our tribe is a branch of the Cloud Thunder Devil Tiger tribe. Therefore, my tribe is also in the heavenly mountain range. It will take about 3 days to reach the Cloud Thunder Devil Tiger tribe from here. Come, let's go to your tribe. Hearing Lu Yanghu's answer, Mo Qingyun told him his thoughts and decided to go to the barbarian bulls and thunder tigers first. Mo Qingyun thought to himself, not only would he be able to find a place to settle down among the barbarian bulls and thunder tigers, he could also help Lu Yanghu and the others settle down. If he settled Lu Yanghu and the others somewhere else, Mo Qingyun would still be worried. However, if he let them stay with the barbarian bull and thunder tiger tribe, Mo Qingyun wouldn't be worried at all. Shortly after, Lu Yanghu and the others brought Mo Qingyun and rushed towards the barbarian bulls and thunder tiger tribe. On the way to the barbarian bulls and thunder tigers, Mo Qingyun entered the 5-directional pagoda again to cultivate and raise his strength. Due to the fact that they didn't have much time to travel, and that breaking through to the true immortal realm was no small matter. When he returned to the 5-directional miniature pagoda, Mo Qingyun did not immediately break through to the next realm. Instead, he decided to cultivate his divine ability. The breakthrough of the Array Doctrine and the Soul Doctrine is very slow. I won't be able to achieve great results in a short period of time. After analyzing the characteristics of the Array Doctrine and the Soul Doctrine, Mo Qingyun eliminated these 2 cultivation paths and began to analyze the other cultivation paths. The inheritance of the Heavenly Eye Doctrine is an auxiliary cultivation path. It will also be difficult to achieve results in a short period of time. In this case, only the Galloping Thunder Doctrine is left. After analyzing and summarizing the characteristics of the few inheritances that he had obtained, Mo Qingyun decided to cultivate the Galloping Thunder Doctrine. As the inheritance of an expert at the peak of the Golden Immortal Realm, the contents of the Galloping Thunder Doctrine were naturally obscure and difficult to understand. Under normal circumstances, even an ordinary expert at the Golden Immortal Realm would find it extremely difficult to comprehend it. Not to mention Mo Qingyun, who was only at the Immortal Infant stage. However, although the Galloping Thunder Doctrine's inner glory was obscure and difficult to understand, Mo Qingyun did not give up because of that. Under Mo Qingyun's continuous study, the contents of the Galloping Thunder Doctrine were gradually comprehended by him. Of course, this level of comprehension was extremely small and almost negligible. Even so, after Mo Qingyun comprehended these contents, he still benefited a lot. While Mo Qingyun was immersed in cultivation, Xian Zhao's projection, who had been waiting for him, showed an impatient expression. He stood up and muttered to himself, "It has been almost 2 days. That kid still hasn't appeared. It seems that he really won't appear." Seeing that Mo Qingyun had not been seen since Mo Qingyun had escaped, Xian Zhao's projection was unwilling to wait any longer. Hearing the words of Xian Zhao's projection, Qingyuan and the others stood up and waited for the instructions of Xian Zhao's projection. The cultivation of those ghosts seems to have weakened compared to a few days ago. A few days ago, the weakest of these ghosts was at the lesser star level. Now they are only at the accumulative star level. Could it be that the ghosts that Mo Qingyun summoned will become weaker as time passes? No wonder Mo Qingyun didn't come to collect them. It turns out that they are only one-time battle items. After this discovery, Qing Yuan and the others were enlightened. They knew why Mo Qingyun didn't come. After realizing that there was something wrong with the ghosts and confirming that he had waited in vain, Xian Zhao's projection's expression turned ugly. "Humph. Kid, even if you escape to the ends of the earth, I will still capture you." After confirming that Mo Qingyun wouldn't come back, Xian Zhao's projection snorted coldly and his figure slowly disappeared in midair. Seeing that Xian Zhao's projection had disappeared, Qing Yuan and the others looked at each other and asked, "Master Xian Zhao has left. What should we do next?" Hearing everyone's question, Qing Yuan's expression turned blank for a moment. He then said to everyone in a deep voice, "Mo Qingyun will be personally captured by Master Xian Zhao. We don't have to worry about this. We are already lucky to have escaped with our lives this time. Let's go back and capture the geniuses." Hearing Qing Yuan's words, the others nodded in agreement and left with Qing Yuan. After Qing Yuan and the others left, in a dark room in the East Dawn Immortal Palace, a middle-aged man said coldly, "I, Xian Zhao, have never failed to capture the prey that I have set my eyes on. Since that's the case, let's play a game. Xing Zhuang, gather everyone here. I have something to instruct them." Xian Zhao's expression was solemn as he instructed the young man beside him. He then sneered and said to himself, "Ever since I broke through to the Daluo Golden Celestial stage 10,000 years ago, there has never been anything that interested me so much." After a while, under the guidance of the young man named Xing Zhuang, about a dozen people came to the dark room. Among these people, except for a few who were at the half-step Golden Celestial stage, the rest were all at the Golden Celestial stage. Especially the two people standing beside Xing Zhuang. Their auras were comparable to Xian Zhao's. It seemed that even if they were not at the Daluo Golden Celestial stage, they were not far from it. "Greetings, Master." When the people came to the dark room, they cupped their hands respectfully and bowed to Xian Zhao. After glancing at the people in front of him, Xian Zhao put on a solemn expression and said to them, "Now, I have something to instruct you to do for me." Hearing Xian Zhao's words, the people were surprised. They were curious about the identity of the person who had caught Xian Zhao's attention. Chapter 1491. This kid's name is Mo Qingyun. He has the bloodline of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. He is currently escaping to the Heavenly Mountain Range. Xian Zhao explained all the information about Mo Qingyun to Xing Zhuang and the others without missing a single detail. After Xian Zhao finished speaking, his expression turned serious. He added to the others, "Although this kid is only at the immortal infant stage, he has many strange abilities. You must not underestimate him. You must use all your strength to capture him." Immortal infant stage? After learning about Mo Qingyun's cultivation, Xing Zhuang and the others were shocked. They instinctively felt a sense of contempt. With Mo Qingyun's immortal infant stage cultivation, he actually attracted Xian Zhao's attention. This was indeed unexpected. Seeing the change in the expressions of Xing Zhuang and the others, Xian Zhao immediately guessed their thoughts. He reminded them, "You must not underestimate Mo Qingyun just because he is at the immortal infant stage." Xing Zhuang and the others were puzzled. So what if a person at the immortal infant stage had strange means? What could he possibly do in front of a constellation realm expert? As the master of Xing Zhuang and the others, Xian Zhao naturally knew what they were thinking. With a solemn expression, he said in a deep voice, "This Mo Qingyun has mastered a magical ability. He can merge with other living creatures and borrow their cultivation for his own use. From what I know, he has merged with the power of a constellation realm ghost. You must not underestimate him based on his cultivation." There was such a magical ability. Xing Zhuang and the others were shocked. They immediately withdrew their contempt for Mo Qingyun. Seeing that Xing Zhuang and the others had withdrawn their contempt, Xian Zhao's expression turned better. He explained to Xing Zhuang and the others. After that, Xing Zhuang and the others left to capture Mo Qingyun. 5 days later, on a small path in the heavenly mountain range, a group of people were hurrying on their way. Not long after, a huge city appeared in front of them. Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger City. Seeing the city in front of them, Lu Yanghu and the rest revealed a happy expression. They had finally arrived at the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe. Brother Mo, the Barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger tribe, has arrived. Standing in front of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger City, Lu Yanghu pointed at the city in front of him and reported his location. Have we arrived? Mo Zai muttered to herself as she looked at the city before her. She then sent a spiritual message to Mo Qingyun. After receiving Mo Zai's soul transmission, Mo Qingyun immediately withdrew from his cultivation and began to examine his gains from this cultivation session. This time, his cultivation did not increase, but the aura he exuded was more restrained than before. If Mo Qingyun was described as a rusty iron sword before he started cultivating, then he was now a cultivator. Right now, he was a two-edged divine sword that could cut through iron like it was mud. The two could not be compared. Besides, Mo Qingyun's speed had increased after comprehending the rushing thunder wind Tao. As Mo Qingyun moved, his afterimages would be mixed with the power of wind and thunder, forming a temporary domain of wind and thunder. In this domain of wind and thunder, Mo Qingyun's movements and attacks would be multiplied. It is indeed worthy of being the inheritance of a half-step golden immortal expert. I have only comprehended 1/10,000th of it, but I have such amazing gains. Seeing the gains of this cultivation, Mo Qingyun was pleasantly surprised. His figure flashed and he swapped identities with Mo Zai. Let's go. After arriving beside Lu Yanghu, Mo Qingyun instructed him to lead the way. So strong. In just a few days, Brother Mo has become even more unfathomable. Sensing the aura on Mo Qingyun's body, Lu Yanghu's expression changed. He could not help but sigh. It seems like Brother Mo must have gained a lot from his seclusion this time. Lu Yanghu sighed in his heart. He walked forward and led Mo Qingyun and the rest into the city. Stop, who are you? Seeing Mo Qingyun and the rest approaching, the guards at the entrance of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger City shouted angrily with an unhappy expression. When these guards scolded Mo Qingyun and the rest, they all acted as if they were facing a great enemy, which surprised Mo Qingyun. Judging from the actions of these guards, the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe seems to be in danger. Mo Qingyun thought silently. Lu Ben, Lu Sai. Looking at the young guards in front of him, Lu Yanghu recognized them and a surprised smile appeared on his face. Seeing that Lu Yanghu recognized them, the two young men were shocked and looked at Lu Yanghu in surprise. After looking carefully, the two guards also recognized Lu Yanghu and said excitedly, Uncle Yanghu, is it really you? You have returned from the Iron Blood Realm Abyss? Yes, I'm back. Seeing that the two young men recognized him, Lu Yanghu smiled excitedly and patted them on the shoulder. He said with relief, I didn't expect you to have grown so much after not seeing you for more than 10 years. Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, the two young men revealed simple and honest smiles and rubbed the back of their heads, looking embarrassed. After exchanging greetings with Lu Yanghu, the young men's attention fell on Mo Qingyun and the rest. They asked, Uncle Yanghu, who are they? These are my friends. They are Mo Qingyun, Chan. Seeing that they asked about Mo Qingyun and the rest, Lu Yanghu showed a serious expression and introduced Mo Qingyun and the rest to them. After introducing everyone, Lu Ben led Mo Qingyun and the rest into the city to see the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe. Emo Qingyun walked into the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger City. He found that the members of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe in the city all had tense expressions, as if they were facing a great enemy. Seeing this scene, Emo Qingyun was even more certain of his guess. However, Emo Qingyun did not point it out immediately. He planned to observe for a while before making a decision. After a short while, under the guidance of Lu Ben and the rest, Emo Qingyun and the rest arrived at the city lord's mansion. At this moment, many elders of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe were sitting in the conference hall of the city lord's mansion. They also seemed to have a lot on their minds, as if they were discussing something important, but they did not discuss an effective way to deal with it. Emo Qingyun walked into the conference hall and released his soul power to sense everyone's cultivation. Emo Qingyun sensed that the elders of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe were not particularly strong. Among them, the elder with the highest cultivation should be the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe, who had just entered the Lesser Star realm. Patriarch, Uncle Yang Hu is back. Leading Emo Qingyun and the rest into the conference hall, Lu Ben reported the arrival of Lu Yanghu and the rest to the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe. "Oh, Yanghu is back." Hearing Lu Ben's report, the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe looked at Lu Yanghu excitedly. Lu Yanghu was one of the most talented people in the younger generation of the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe. His strength was only inferior to the elders of the tribe. Chapter 1492. Yang Hu pays his respects to the patriarch and the elders. Chagun pays his respects to the elders. Emo Qingyun pays his respects to the elders. Glancing at the crowd in the hall, Emo Qingyun and the others cupped their fists and bowed to the people in the hall. Although the patriarch and the elders of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe didn't have particularly high cultivation bases, Emo Qingyun still bowed out of courtesy. Everyone is a guest from afar, so there's no need for formalities. Please take a seat. The patriarch of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe smiled faintly when he saw the actions of Emo Qingyun and the others. He invited Emo Qingyun and the others to take a seat. When the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe greeted Emo Qingyun and the others, he sensed Lu Yanghu's cultivation base and asked in shock, "Yanghu, your cultivation base has reached the Lesser Star realm? Not long ago I had a breakthrough by chance." Lu Yanghu didn't hide anything from the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe and answered truthfully. The elders of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe in the hall smiled in surprise when they heard Lu Yanghu's words. To the current Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe, having a Lesser Star realm powerhouse was extremely good news. "Patriarch, these are my friends. They are Emo Qingyun, Chaen, Min Xiong." After exchanging a few pleasantries with the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe, Lu Yanghu introduced Emo Qingyun and the others to Emo Qingyun and the others. "This is the patriarch of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe, Lu Shenxiong. Beside him is the great elder Lu Shenji, the second elder Lu Yunfei, the third elder Lu Changchuan, the fourth elder Lu Guozi." After Lu Yanghu's introduction, Emo Qingyun and the others exchanged some pleasantries and officially got to know each other. "Patriarch, when I entered the hall just now, I noticed that all of you were frowning. Could the tribe have encountered some trouble?" Lu Yanghu asked with a puzzled expression when he recalled the expressions of Lu Shenxiong and the others. Lu Shenxiong and the others' expressions immediately turned grave when they heard Lu Yanghu's words. "Sigh. It's a long story. It's all because my Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe is too weak." Lu Shenxiong sighed with a pained and furious expression as he spoke of the entire story. "A few months ago, an enormous change occurred in the ancestral grounds of my Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger clan. An enormous forest suddenly appeared, and it contained boundless Joss flame energy. The power of incense. Emo Qingyun raised his eyebrows, his expression suddenly becoming excited. What he lacked the most now was incense. If he could get the incense from the forest, it might be able to solve his urgent need. Under Emo Qingyun's fervent gaze, Lu Shenxiong continued to narrate, "Originally, this was a great thing for my clan. We didn't have to worry about accumulating the power of incense when we broke through the minor star realm. Who would have thought?" At this point, Lu Shenxiong's expression became heavy. He sorted out his emotions and continued, "Who would have thought that the appearance of the Joss Flame Forest would attract the attention of the major tribes? They wanted us to hand over the keys to enter the Joss Flame Forest. However, we only have a total of 20 keys, but we are being threatened by more than 30 tribes. This is really giving us a headache." Hearing Lu Shenxiong's words, Emo Qingyun immediately understood. He knew why Lu Shenxiong was having a headache. In this situation where there were too many wolves and too little meat, it seemed that no matter what the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe did, they would offend some powerful tribes. After understanding the whole story, Lu Yanghu turned to look at Emo Qingyun with a pleading expression. However, Emo Qingyun didn't immediately respond to Lu Yanghu's pleading. Instead, he asked Lu Shenxiong, "Uncle Xiong, how strong are the tribes that want to snatch the keys?" "The strength of those tribes is far from what my barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe can compare to." Speaking of the tribes that want to snatch the keys, Lu Shenxiong sighed and smiled bitterly. The largest tribe is the Black Abyss Devil Tiger tribe. They have several constellation powerhouses holding down the fort. The second is the Three-Headed Thunder Tiger tribe. They have one constellation powerhouse holding down the fort. Next, Lu Shenxiong described the strength of each tribe to Emo Qingyun. With only a constellation powerhouse holding down the fort, they aren't particularly difficult to deal with. After listening to Lu Shenxiong's description, Emo Qingyun's expression changed slightly. The worries in his heart disappeared. With his current strength, it wouldn't be too difficult to take down these tribes. Although he knew the strength of the invading tribes, Emo Qingyun didn't immediately state his position and promise to help the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe. Firstly, he also had thoughts about the Joss Flames. If he took the initiative to help, it would be difficult to ask for Joss Flames later. Secondly, if he directly stated his own price, it would give people a feeling that he had ulterior motives. More importantly, with his cultivation at the immortal infant stage, even if he promised to settle this matter, Lu Shenxiong and the others might not believe him. Seeing that Emo Qingyun didn't say anything, Lu Shenxiong and the others didn't think too much about it. They didn't place their hopes on Emo Qingyun. Obviously, they didn't think that Emo Qingyun's cultivation at the immortal infant stage would be of much help to them. Seeing that Emo Qingyun didn't say anything, Lu Yanghu didn't open his mouth to say anything. He thought that Emo Qingyun should have his own plans. For a moment, everyone in the conference hall fell silent, making the atmosphere a little awkward. Lu Shenxiong pondered for a moment, then opened his mouth to break the silence. He said to Lu Yanghu, "Yanghu, your friends must be tired after rushing all the way. Take them to rest." "Okay." Hearing Lu Shenxiong's words, Lu Yanghu no longer hesitated and left with Emo Qingyun and the others. Emo Qingyun didn't say anything about Lu Shenxiong's arrangement and followed Lu Yanghu out of the conference hall. After coming out of the conference hall, Emo Qingyun didn't rush to the incense forest. Instead, he followed Lu Yanghu to rest. Under Lu Yanghu's arrangement, Emo Qingyun stayed in a quiet little courtyard. After arriving at this small courtyard, Emo Qingyun didn't waste any time and immediately entered the 5 directions small pagoda to cultivate. Emo Qingyun's idea was very simple. What he needed to do now was to wait. Wait for those clansmen who wanted to snatch the key to arrive. When those clansmen snatched the key from the barbarian Ox Thunder Tiger clan, he would make a move to snatch those people. In this way, he wouldn't offend the barbarian Ox Thunder Tiger clan and could still obtain his own benefit. In order to grasp the situation of the barbarian Ox Thunder Tiger clan, Mo Qingyun entered the Five Directions small pagoda and left Mo Zai outside to observe the barbarian Ox Thunder Tiger clan's every move. After dealing with everything, Mo Qingyun began to cultivate and continued to comprehend the inheritance of the galloping thunder wind path. As Mo Qingyun continued to comprehend, the power of wind and lightning he could control became stronger and stronger. Every time he moved, the power of wind and lightning in his afterimages would increase, and the domain of wind and lightning could be maintained for longer and longer. Time passed bit by bit. The storm behind the calm was also constantly approaching. Chapter 1493. Following the arrival of the various clans, the sky above the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger City was filled with terrifying auras. Under the shroud of these terrifying auras, the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe's clansmen revealed terrified expressions. If these people killed their way into the city, with the strength of the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger tribe, they would only be reduced to a situation of being slaughtered. What will come in the end. Seeing the arrival of the various clans, Lu Shenxiong couldn't help but sigh inwardly. He brought the elders to meet the various clans. Following Lu Shenxiong to meet the various clans, Lu Yanghu frowned tightly with an anxious and nervous expression. He thought to himself, Brother Mo has been in seclusion since he came to the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger City. It has been a few days now. I wonder if he has come out of seclusion? Although Lu Yanghu was anxious, he didn't disturb Mo Qingyun as he didn't want to affect Mo Qingyun's cultivation. He thought that if the various clans really attacked, it wouldn't be too late for him to call Mo Qingyun. Little did they know that when Lu Yanghu went to meet the people from the various clans, Mo Zai transmitted a message to Mo Qingyun, True Self, the people from the various clans have arrived. Lu Shenxiong and the others have already gone to meet them. They're already here? Hearing Mo Zai's transmission, Mo Qingyun's face lit up with joy and he quickly swapped identities with Mo Zai. After coming out of the five-directional pagoda, Mo Qingyun didn't look for Lu Shenxiong and the others. Instead, he first looked at the harvest of this cultivation. Mo Qingyun's figure moved, leaving behind a shadow behind him. In the space where the shadow flashed, there were bolts of lightning intertwining. The aura of these bolts of lightning was very strong, enough to seriously injure an expert of a minor star position and threaten an expert of a major star position. More importantly, if one was hit by these bolts of lightning, one's mobility would be greatly restricted, making one lose the opportunity to escape. As expected of the inheritance left behind by a half-step perfected golden immortal expert. I haven't even comprehended 1/1000th of it, but my strength has increased by several times. Mo Qingyun revealed a pleasantly surprised expression when he saw the results of his closed-door training. He couldn't help but sigh with emotion in his heart. He then said, With my current strength, I can fight against an ordinary big star powerhouse even if I don't use any magic. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. With a flash, he left the barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger City. After leaving the barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger City, Mo Qingyun did not look for Lu Yanghu. Instead, he silently observed the situation from the side. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that the invading clans were all looking down at Lu Shenxiong and the others with an arrogant attitude. A short while later, a dark-faced middle-aged man with a single horn on his head walked out from one of the clans and said coldly, Lu Shenxiong, our patriarch said that we will only take 5 out of the 20 keys. You can do whatever you want with the rest. Hearing the middle-aged man's words, Lu Shenxiong's face immediately paled and his legs went soft. There weren't enough keys to enter the burning incense forest to begin with. Now the other party actually wanted 5 keys. This was not giving the barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger tribe any chance of survival. Before Lu Shenxiong could calm his gloomy mood, a middle-aged man with 3 heads slowly walked forward and said, "Our 3-head Thunder Tiger tribe is not as greedy as the Black Abyss Demon Tiger tribe. We only want 3 keys." 3 keys. Lu Shenxiong's expression froze once again. He lost his footing and almost fell to the ground. This way, only 12 of the 20 keys to the burning incense forest were left. However, there were still more than 20 clans that had come to snatch the keys. This way, even if they were sold off, there wouldn't be enough keys for everyone. The clans that had come to snatch the keys clearly weren't in the mood to care about Lu Shenxiong's thoughts. A middle-aged man with a pair of wings on his back also walked out when he saw the actions of the Black Abyss Devil Tiger tribe and said, "In that case, our Eagle Feather Tiger tribe will also make a request. Our request isn't too high. We only want 3 keys to the burning incense forest." Then, the leaders of the various clans started to make their own requests to Lu Shenxiong. When he heard the requests of the various clans, Mo Qingyun made a rough estimate. Roughly 40 keys would be needed to split the keys. This way, it would be impossible for Lu Shenxiong to satisfy everyone. More importantly, the clans that had come to snatch the keys were obviously playing a very slippery game. They only said that they wanted to snatch the keys, but they didn't give the Barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger tribe any promises. They simply didn't care about the life and death of the Barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger tribe. When he heard the requests of the various clans, Lu Shenxiong's mood sank to the extreme. He even felt like dying. What should he do? If he didn't handle this well, the Barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger tribe would be besieged by all the other clans and might very well end up being exterminated. Lu Shenxiong was now hoping that the powerful clan would be willing to step forward and discuss the terms of handing over the keys. As long as they handed over the keys, the other party would guarantee the safety of the Barbarian Bull Lightning Tiger tribe. But now, none of the clans were willing to make a promise. This made things difficult for him. Just as Lu Shenxiong was in a dilemma and didn't know what to do, Lu Yanghu's expression darkened. He said, "Clan leader, from the looks of the current situation, no matter how the keys are distributed, it seems like we will offend some of the clans. Isn't that the case? This is exactly what gives me a headache." Lu Shenxiong sighed and seemed to have aged a few years. "Actually, I do have a way to resolve this situation. I don't know if you want to hear it?" When he thought of Mo Qingyun, who was cultivating in the city, Lu Yanghu couldn't help but decide to ask Mo Qingyun to help resolve this crisis. "What is it? Tell us." Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, Lu Shenxiong and the rest's eyes lit up. They immediately urged Lu Yanghu. Under the urging of Lu Shenxiong and the rest, Lu Yanghu no longer kept them in suspense. With a serious expression, he said in a deep voice, "I think we can give the keys to Brother Mo and use this to ask Brother Mo for help. If Brother Mo is willing to help, this matter will be resolved immediately." "Brother Mo, are you talking about that Mo Qingyun?" Hearing Lu Yanghu's words, Lu Shenxiong and the rest were disappointed and their eyes dimmed. They didn't expect that the good idea Lu Yanghu was talking about was to ask someone with an immortal infant stage cultivation to help. Was this matter something that a junior at the immortal infant stage could participate in and resolve? The answer was obviously not. Lu Shenxiong was silent for a moment, then he sighed to Lu Yanghu. "Yanghu, if I'm not wrong, young friend Mo should have some qualities. But the current situation is not something he can resolve. It's better not to trouble him." Hearing Lu Shenxiong's words, Lu Yanghu immediately knew that Lu Shenxiong didn't believe Mo Qingyun. Knowing Lu Shenxiong's thoughts, Lu Yanghu couldn't help but sigh and frown even more. Chapter 1494. Seeing that the method of asking Mo Qingyun for help didn't work, Lu Yanghu began to think again, trying to find a better way. Soon after, Lu Yanghu thought for a while and came up with a solution. Lu Yanghu's eyes lit up and he became excited. He said in pleasant surprise, Since we'll offend a portion of the clans regardless of who we give the key to, why don't we just throw the key out and let them fight for it themselves? It'll be up to them whether they can get it or not. Lu Shenxiong's face tensed up when he heard Lu Yanghu's suggestion. Worry and concern filled his face as he said, "Wouldn't that be the same as offending all the clans? Patriarch, there's something you don't know. Please let me slowly explain it to you." Lu Yanghu grinned when he discovered that Lu Shenxiong's train of thought had gone astray. He smiled slyly. "Once we throw the key out, the clans that get the key won't have the time to pay attention to us. As for the clans that don't get the key, they'll naturally think of ways to get the key and ignore us." In truth, Lu Yanghu's reasoning was only on the surface. He didn't voice out his true thoughts. His thoughts were like this. Since they could not keep the key, protecting the Barbarian Ox and Thunder Tiger clans was the key. Since they could not ask Emo Qingyun to come forward and keep the key for the Barbarian Ox and Thunder Tiger clans, it should be possible to ask him to protect them. That's a good idea. Lu Shenxiong's eyes lit up when he heard Lu Yanghu's words. He expressed his approval of Lu Yanghu's suggestion. This move could be considered as redirecting the trouble away from the Barbarian Ox and Thunder Tiger clans, shifting their attention to the other clans in the blink of an eye. At that time, even if the other clans did not get the key, they would probably think twice before taking revenge on the Barbarian Ox and Thunder Tiger clans. As a result, they could resolve the crisis of the Barbarian Ox and Thunder Tiger clans if they followed Lu Yanghu's plan. "Lu Shenxiong, have you thought it through?" A middle-aged man from the Black Abyss Devil Tiger clan urged in displeasure when Lu Shenxiong did not respond for a long time. Lu Shenxiong smiled faintly when he heard the middle-aged man's urging. He took out the key and said, "The keys to the incense forest are all here. If you have the ability, go fight for them yourselves. As for how many you can get, that'll be up to you." After Lu Shenxiong said that, he tossed the key to the burning incense forest out of the Barbarian Bull Thunder Tiger City. When Lu Shenxiong tossed them out, the 20 burning incense forest keys immediately turned into 20 streaks of light and flew out of the Barbarian Bull Thunderous Tiger City. Seeing Lu Shenxiong's actions, the expressions of the people from the various clans changed greatly. They did not expect Lu Shenxiong to do this. Is this Lu Shenxiong crazy? Isn't he afraid of offending us? Don't worry about that. The most important thing now is to snatch those keys. That damned Lu Shenxiong. He actually used such a method to divert the attention of our various races. All of you scram. Our Black Abyss Devil Tiger clan will take all the keys to the incense forest. Although your Black Abyss Devil Tiger clan is powerful, you still can't swallow this fat piece of meat. Enough with the nonsense. Let's fight for the keys to the incense forest with our own abilities. As they chased after the burning incense forest keys, the various clans did not give way to each other and had a short discussion. As the various clans chased after the 20 burning incense forest keys, a figure instantly rushed in front of them. After rushing to the front of the various clans, the figure flashed a few times and caught up to the 20 burning incense forest keys. After catching up to the 20 burning incense forest keys, the figure raised his hand and grabbed, collecting the 20 keys in his hand. "Brother Emo, he's here." Seeing the figure take away the burning incense forest keys, Lu Yanghu's expression shook and a surprised smile appeared on his face. From his point of view, since Emo Qingyun had already made his move, there was no need to worry about this matter. Emo Qingyun, he snatched the burning incense forest keys. Is he crazy? Is he trying to provoke the various clans? He's too reckless. If the various clans pursue the matter because of his actions, it will be troublesome. If that's the case, wouldn't all our efforts go down the drain? Seeing Emo Qingyun's actions, Lu Shenxiong and the others were enraged. They were dissatisfied with Emo Qingyun. From their point of view, Emo Qingyun's actions were causing trouble for the Barbarian Bull and Thunder Tiger tribe. Under the gaze of Lu Shenxiong and the others, Emo Chingyun stopped and stood in midair. Seeing Emo Chingyun stop, the various clans were enraged. They stared at Emo Chingyun with sinister eyes. Kid, I think you're tired of living. How dare you steal our things? An immortal infant stage kid dares to have designs on the burning incense forest. How audacious. Kid, you're only at the immortal infant stage. The burning incense forest won't be of much use to you. Why don't we make a deal? Kid, if you hand over the burning incense forest keys to me, this old man will guarantee your life today. How about it? At this moment, some of the people in charge of the various tribes were negotiating with Emo Chingyun. When they were negotiating with Emo Chingyun, their actions were unanimous. They didn't attack Emo Chingyun. They knew that if they attacked first, they would become everyone's enemy. This wasn't something they wanted to see. Emo Chingyun smiled faintly when he saw everyone's reaction. He casually put away the key and said, "Now I'll give you all a chance. If you submit to me now, I can spare your lives later." Hearing Emo Chingyun's words, everyone was dumbfounded. They thought they heard wrong. Is this kid crazy? A kid at the immortal infant stage wants all the clans to surrender to him? Is he here to be a joke? Haha, this is too funny. This kid wants us to surrender to him. Who does this kid think he is? A powerhouse of the golden immortal realm? Later, don't kill this kid. I want to capture him and tell him jokes every day. That's good. When the time comes, we'll let him set up a stage and take turns telling us jokes every day. Hearing Emo Chingyun's words, the various clans were stunned for a moment. Then, they began to laugh loudly. While everyone was laughing, a young man from the Black Abyss Devil Tiger clan walked out. He looked at Emo Chingyun with disdain and said, "Kid, this is the first time I, Peng Ching, have seen someone as arrogant as you. Now let me see what you're made of." There are many things you don't know. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.